Right. Hi. Good evening, guys. How are you? Anybody there? Oh yeah, I've got a few in already. Yeah, guys, welcome to the stream. Not too many in at the moment. Totally unannounced. Just decided to do it spur of the moment. I don't know how many we'll have in tonight. I don't think it's going to be a long one. I think I have alcoholic poisoning from last night. I did a 4-hour stream. It went on too long. I tell you what, guys, I'm hot. Let me just put this fan on. Bear with me. Oh. Right. Right, no games or competitions or anything tonight. I'll just we'll feed off the chat and we'll see what people are saying. Let's just get this thing back on. Oh, there's nothing on the TV. That's the problem. You know, I'm not working tomorrow, and I was gonna relax in front of the TV, and I had a look through the schedule, and it's all crap. There's nothing on, so I thought, well, let's talk about time. Blimey, 76 in. Where are you lot gone from? Right, okay, Damien, I am seeing your comments tonight. I don't know if you missed this last night or you've seen it, but there you are. I did show it a couple of times last night. I don't know if you were able to see that or not. There's Damien. That's what you call a satisfied customer, satisfied viewer. There you go. Right, let's get rid of his ugly mug. Okay, who have we got in anyway? Right, a couple of super chats already. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Right, Brian. Bloody hell, mate. Glad you have your airbags working. Cheers. Football's crap. That's the lady at the beginning, isn't it? Thank you for that, Brian. And Damien, yeah, okay. I got it. Your super chat's in. Everything's working. So good stuff. Right. Okay. Let's say hi to everyone. Let's get the conversation going. First one in, as always. Well, normally Danish bacon. What a nice surprise. Those daisies won't water themselves. Absolutely. Good to have you in, buddy. Anders Bergman. Too late for me, Peter. Sorry. So you won't hear that message. Shin Rana, how you doing? Shin, I'm not going to give anything away, but the stories next week, one of them, you're going to really relate to it. I won't say anything more than that. That's a cryptic message. You don't need any more clues. As soon as I start reading the beginning, you'll think, okay, this is a story Peter meant. Guys, what did you think of that story today about the guy who went to the 3 guys who went to stay in the penthouse hotel, and they had those 3 girls dancing in the minibus on the way down there with a raised roof, you know, and one vomited and the other 2 smelt it and they vomited and the whole 6 of them were covered in vomit. What a state to get into. Right. What are you saying anyway, Shin? Hey, Peter, what a pleasure surprise, mate. Have itchy nose again. Having your company on a Saturday night, just thinking I'm bored, and then I saw you on at 9:15. The reason it's 9:15 and not 9 is because I decided to do it at about 5 to 9. So I just rushed everything through. We'll see how it goes. I'm really surprised there's over 100 people in already. I don't normally do a stream on a Saturday. I don't have anything prepared. I'm just going to talk. We'll talk whatever you want to talk about, and we'll see how it goes. It certainly won't be 4 hours tonight. I won't be able to keep it up. I'm hoping when I have a beer, I'll feel better, because I feel I really done myself in last night. I didn't sleep till about 2:30 in the morning. I usually go up to bed about 11:30, and I can't sleep in because I've got a dog. He's old now. If I don't let him out in the mornings, he'll mess. So I have to go down. So I'm really tired, but I think I'm okay. Right, red wine. Yes, that's bloody good value. I haven't seen you in before. Look at the size of those whappers in the background. Yeah, that's the lady. Chris Kringle. Hey, baby, how much? Ryan Seeger. Good evening, all. And Pete, can you give a shout out to another new viewer, Jamie Ape? Jamie Ape. Okay, Jamie Ape. There you go. There's a shout out for you. Is that something between you two that I won't understand there? I can't believe his name's really Jamie Ape. Right, Don Trump. Howdy, Captain Peter. How are you doing, Donald? Carl Wirard, is it? Hey, all today I'm present. Yeah, good. Don Trump again, your local president in the house. Wouldn't it be funny if it really was Donald Trump? Let's see. Somebody's giving me a super chat here. I didn't come on here for the super chats, guys, but it is a nice surprise. Angels Cabal, mate, last night you did 2. Another one tonight. Thank you very much. And good to have you in. Paul Hoskins in. It's the usual faces. After 20 beers, you can't smell anything anyway. I don't know about 20. Blimey, I can't do 20. Do you know, I'm going to have one now because I'm feeling really rough, and I hope if I have a beer now, it'll make me feel better. I had a few comments because I was preparing the stories for next week today. I always do them really early, and I can put them out for the members on a Monday or Tuesday, and then I know they're done, so I can take it easy in the week, work on something else. And I had a few comments today from guys who actually they actually wrote in and said, I'm hungover. You know, I drank too much. Because, you know, sometimes when you get into a stream, some of them are good and they just flow and they just go on. And it's like me doing 4 hours, you know. I mean, it's like, it's totally unplanned, but you enjoy it. I enjoy it. And the time just whizzes by. And the problem with that is you're drinking all the way. And of course, you end up very inebriated. But here's to last night anyway. Oh, let's see if that does a touch. They do say hair of the dog, don't they? Okay. Right. Okay, Damien, we said hello to you, but good to see the chats, because I didn't see you last night, did I? I thought it wasn't working. I thought it actually accidentally blocked you. We only blocked one last night. I don't think I even told Franco I was in tonight, so he'll be surprised. Barry from EastEnders, Wagwan, Peter, yeah. Delboy K back again. 2 in a row, Peter, yeah. I know, I can't believe it either. Okay, she had a hairy muff. I do like that hairy stuff. Dirty mongers assemble. Wow. Gary Hughes, what a lovely surprise. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Good to have you in, mate, as well. If you want to talk about anything in particular tonight, guys, if you've got any questions, anything like that, because I haven't got any games, competitions, anything like that. I'm just talking to you on the chat. If there's anything you want to ask, any subjects you want to open up tonight, it's a perfect night. We can just, take it very, very casual. Guns and Plebs, yeah, you're in again. Nice to see you in again. Daniel Mills, evening. I'm so glad you're going. I will keep me entertained at work. Okay, what do you do, Daniel? You can come back in. If you're driving, don't text or anything, but maybe you work in a warehouse or something like that at night. Timmy, so hello from the M40. Okay, so are you dropping somebody off at Heathrow? Danish Bacon says, got those funky trousers on again. Yeah, the shorts. Look. So you only see when you watch people on YouTube, you only see the top half, don't you? But I've got some real casual shorts on. It's actually quite warm again. Paul Scratch, how you doing? Somebody's a sucker for punishment, so we're going for 5 hours right now. I think I'm not even going to take a wild guess at it. I feel really rough tonight because of last night. When I did a 4-hour stream the last time and I got extremely drunk, I said to myself the last time, I said, I'm never going to do one of them again, because they are fun, they are enjoyable, and I get into them just as much as you do. And I'm drinking, then I get into the whiskey, and it's all fun and games. But when you wake up the next day, I mean, I've been cooped up in here all day editing stories. I've spent about 6-7 hours editing. There's no windows in here. It's been a hot day, and it warms up in here about 1 o'clock onwards. So it's very, very stifling. I had to pop some aspirins because I felt rough. I still don't feel 100%, but actually the beer's actually making me feel slightly better. But what I've decided to do now, I'm in Thailand now, 6 weeks, 2 months maximum. I put a bit of weight back on. I've decided now, that's it. Monday, I'm going to go hardcore, like what I did before I went to Thailand in the summer when I lost all that weight. Really little bit of food, everything else out the window. I'm going to do it from Monday. I'll go for pizza with Franco tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy that. Have a few beers tonight, then that's it. I'm going to do 6 weeks to 2 months of hardcore so that when I land in Bangkok, I'm a lean, mean, sexual machine, something like that. Anyway, right. Okay. So, thanks for your comment today. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Shawan? Hey, Peter. Hey, handsome man. Yeah, I read your comment today on the stories. Thank you for that. It's very kind of you to say so, and it's good to see you in the stream tonight. Seamus Doherty, you weren't in last night. You should start doing live streams every night. Somebody else does that, don't they? I spoke with someone tonight, and someone else actually said to me, "Oh, do a live stream tonight." And I get talked into it very easily. But what I said to him, like the same as I said last time, I said I don't think I should, because the problem is you can have such a fantastic live stream like last night, the games, the competitions, 400 people, and it went really well. And you try to piggyback on the back of that good night, and then it's a flop. Like people are like, "Oh, not him again." So it'll be fine tonight. This is just a casual. A casual stream. There won't be that many, and we've got nearly 200 in now, though, saying that. And we'll see how it goes, but I wouldn't do sort of more than once a week, really, or maybe the odd Sunday or something, because it does get too much and people get bored with it. I won't name YouTubers, but there are some good YouTubers actually in Thailand who I've kind of stopped watching them for a while. They're good. There's nothing wrong with them, but in my eyes, they do too many live streams, and it gets to the point it's like, not again, so I don't want to get to that state. Right, Paul Thompson, greetings from Pattaya. Hi, Paul. How's the weather in Pattaya? Gorgeous Thailand again. Thank you. I don't know about that. It'd be nice if you were a young lady. I discovered you're a young lady. Mazza, yes, Peter. Shame, I'm working tonight. Have a good one. Okay, Mazza, there's always a rerun. It won't be a long one tonight. Ty Billy Boy, hi Peter, good evening to everyone. How you doing? Christopher Snellgrove, hi Pete, watching from sunny Benidorm. Do you know Benidorm is a place I've always wanted to go? I don't know why. It's because it's not. I suppose you've got the sun. You've got the sun, haven't you? It's hot, and it looks quite a cool place. Cool as in a good place to go. But what attracts me about it is it's not a long haul flight, is it? And I'm guessing you could probably get £100-200 ticket. And of course they had that horrible that stupid show Benidorm on, which was they all I think they're all gone to the Ringo Starr School of Acting. It was awful. But the thing about that program Benidorm, you actually got to see what it's like around Benidorm. And for a while I did. Before all this stuff went on with my wife, I said, let's go to Benidorm, let's have a week. But she was it's a bit kiss me quick and all that sort of thing. So I don't know, I've not been there. But welcome from Benidorm, Chris. Dutch Frank, Mongers Unite. Yeah, Wayne Carr, Del Boy again. No diarrhea songs. I've still got it. I won't play it again because I really will be hashing old material. I haven't deleted it yet. It is there. If you weren't, well, no, because I'll play it again. I was going to say if you weren't in last night and I was going to explain it, but I'll end up playing it again. And I don't want to do it because, like I say, if I do it again, it's just going to be a repeat of last night's stream. And I promise you I won't play it again, okay?
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad...
That was an accident. Somebody wrote to me today because, yesterday when I put that on, I said, I've got this song. I can't get it out of my head. And I was playing that 2 or 3 times. I won't play it again. I'm just joking there. Somebody wrote to me today and they said, yeah, you said that about that song. He said, but that buffalo music, that cowboy banjo. He said, I can't get that out of my mind. It's going over and over. The one when I go to Water the Daisies, this one. He can't get it out of his mind. It's gone round and round in his head. Never mind. Bazwookie YNYA 97. Wow, that's a name and a half. Darts is on Channel 4. More exciting than watching England crap. Laugh out loud. Darts. I mean, would you consider that a sport? I can't imagine sitting watching a darts game. But then I like watching snooker. So I suppose it's the same. But I find snooker incredibly. I find them incredibly talented. Not only the way they get the balls in the pockets, but how they set up every shot. Very, very, very skillful. I could watch it for hours. Del Boy K, I booked my trip to St. Martin, is it today, for a week of mongering. Where's that? Where is that? St. Martin, is it? I don't know where that is. Right, Matthew Allen. Hi everyone, how you doing, Matthew? El Terrifical. Hey guys, Peter. Yeah. Gorgeous Thailand. Taking off from Heathrow to Bangkok in 15 hours and 10 minutes time. Not that I'm counting. So 15 hours. So what time is it now? It's 9:30. So 9:30 tomorrow is 12 hours. 13, 14, 15. So 9, 10. So yeah, you're on the I would imagine you're on the Thai 12:30 flight. Is it TG 910? Or you're either on the Eva Air flight. They both go out at 9:30. How much do you pay for your ticket? Gorgeous Thailand. Just put that up. I hope I won't miss it. I'll read it out. Charlie Stewart, good evening to you. Steve P, last night was rough. Bad diarrhea. Yeah, let's forget that diarrhea song. I'm going to be looking for another one. I Have a Coke. It's a Korean song, apparently, but similar sort of thing. We'll try and get that for next week. Steve P, last night was rough, but yeah, I've read that one. Big Kevin Media. Hello from Anchorage, Alaska. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? I tell you what, let's get something on a little bit more exciting in the background there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, all right. You can tell I'm not with it, can't you? Compared to last night, I was like on a roll, buzzing. But tonight I'm on a go slow mode. Okay, here's a good question. Right, Angels Cabell, do you think the Thailand pass will be dropped in July? Nobody knows. Somebody put out a video tonight. I'm not going to tell you who the YouTuber is, and I haven't seen it, but somebody told me about it. He's a big Thailand YouTuber, and the guy who told me about it hasn't been able to get back to Thailand for a couple of years. He misses his girlfriend and all the rest of it. And the title of this thumbnail was "No More Masks. Thailand drops the Thailand pass." So when you look at it, you think, "Oh wow, no Thailand pass." And when you go in and look at the guy's video, he was just going on holiday, so he doesn't have to wear a mask when he's on holiday. And the guy was telling me about it. He wrote a bit of a note. It's not a bad channel, but It's a bit naughty, is it? Saying putting up thumbnails like that, no more Thailand pass. He's basically saying because he's gone somewhere else, but it's real clickbait. We're all guilty of clickbait up to a point. I mean, just look at that lady behind me. I've had her on a thumbnail before. So we all do it, but there's no way I'd put up something like, Thailand pass is cancelled. But let's get back to the question. Do you think the Thailand pass will be dropped in July? They're hanging on to it, aren't they? I don't think so. No, I think if they drop it, I don't think it'll be probably till, I'd like to think August. But I mean, how long can it go on for? Their numbers are going down. I know people who have spoken to viewers who have said to me, they've really been kind of, they've said, I'm never going to go to Thailand while this Thailand pass is on. And they've been saying that for the last 2 years. And they've finally relented and said, look, I've got to get back out there. If it's not happening by August, whatever it takes, I'm just going to do the Thailand pass and I'm going to go out there. Because there is people who haven't been out there for 2.5 years who are desperate to get back because they've got partners, relationships, things like that. And it's been rough for some people. And to be honest with you, if I didn't have a YouTube channel called Thailand-bound, I wouldn't have gone out in December because I had to pay a lot of money. I had to jump through a lot of hoops, and I caught COVID when I was out there, missed my flight. But like I said, if I didn't have a channel, I wouldn't have done it. Right, okay. Right, Dutch Frank, Peter, have you ever been to Ho Chi Minh City? I have not even been to Vietnam, but one of the things I plan to do when I'm based in Thailand, I did say I didn't want to give my game plan away, but there are other people doing it. One thing I want to do, I want to use Bangkok as a kind of springboard, and I want to start doing videos in Vietnam, Cambodia, Philippines. But what I want to do is I want to do more of, I don't want to go to the temples and the beaches. I won't say anything more than that. I think you know where I'm getting at. But it'd be interesting because if you're one of those guys who heads out to Bangkok for a month or Thailand for a month, and you see what's going on, you might think, well, Vietnam's an hour and a half away. It's 100. Who was telling me? Somebody was telling me that if you go to, is it Da Nang? It's a $70 round trip from Bangkok to Da Nang, which is about £50, £60. So for the sake of £60 and an hour and a half each way, you get to see another country. So that's what I plan to do. But in answer to your question, Dutch Frank, no, I've not been to Vietnam, and I would really like to go. Spirit Travels. Hi there. What's happening with cannabis relaxation in Pattaya? Well, it's quite hyped up, isn't it? Because haven't they given a license to people to be able to grow one plant at home, something like that? I don't know. I guess it's worth asking somebody who's in Thailand at the moment. I'll try and find that out for next week. Right, Paul says, poor fella is going to be in a ditch if you post the bangers girl again. Okay. Yeah, let's do another one. I can't get into this manga bit tonight. Let me put something on a bit more. Let's do a Pattaya night scene. There we go. Right. Paul Hoskin, give us a list of all the scams again, Peter. There's a video. I've got like 2 or 3 videos on the channel, but Thailand's no worse than anywhere else. You know the sort of thing, Paul. You got the gem scam. There's loads of them. Go look at the videos. I don't want to be like talking negative tonight. It's surprising, when you do a stream or you upload a video, it's really surprising what some people complain about. Not always in a nasty way, but I had a guy write to me today. So he's taken the trouble to write me an email. And what he wrote to me, so that competition I did last night, I've started doing it every week now. It's called Spot the Thai Girl. And I say to you, I've got 8 girls from Southeast Asia. And I put up the pictures and I say, which one is a Thai? And I had a guy actually write to me today and he says, well, technically, it's not a Southeast Asia competition because China isn't Southeast Asia. Taiwan isn't Southeast Asia. And I'm like, oh, come on, it's just a competition. All right. 20 Rothmans, how you doing? I've ordered the book. Anyone else? I've sold, thank you, 20 Rothmans. I've sold about, this month, I've sold about 20 copies. So, I mean, it's not going to hit any bestsellers lists, is it? But that's not too bad, 20 copies. I think some people wrote to me and I know some people bought the book not because they particularly wanted to read it, but they wanted to support the channel, and rather than send in $10 to get me drunk, they bought the book and put it on the shelf. But if you bought the book, thank you. And if you wouldn't mind, if you've got time, if you wouldn't mind a little write-up on Amazon, a little positive write-up, that helps a lot, because that sells books, doesn't it? If somebody goes in there and says, yeah, I read it, it was a good read, then I'll encourage them to buy the book. Devil's Den came to see if Eddie was on, but found you, so all is good. I nearly sent Ed a text today. I was going to send him a text and say, do you want to do a stream together? But I'm almost positive he would have said no tonight, Saturday night. I'm almost positive. He might even do a stream tomorrow. But, you know, it gets me a bit frustrated because sometimes it takes a long time to answer. And I'm one of those guys, if somebody texts me and it comes in, I'm like, bang, answer straight back. And if I don't get an answer for hours, it frustrates me a little bit. So I didn't ask him. I don't think he'd have done the stream. It would have been fun if he'd come on because, you know, when you got two of you on there, you can relax a bit while the other person's talking. HK57, cheers from Canada, Peter. Yeah, how you doing? What time is it in Canada now? Sang Park High, Peter Stone, how easy is she? I don't know. Who are you talking about? The girl at the beginning? Spirit Travels again. Yeah, we've read that one. Right. Right. Brian again. Closer and closer to the end of the Thai Pass. TikTok. Yeah, I hope so, Brian. I really do. Mind you, though, saying that, the Thailand Pass is not difficult now. It's really easy. And if you don't want to do it yourself, there's companies that do it. I use that lady who's got the YouTube channel, you know, quite a good channel, but she always starts with that annoying irritation, the way she says, Sawadika. You know, it's really irritating, but she did mine for me. Right. Shall I pretend I haven't seen yours, Damien, and just move on? Right, here we go. Damien, Peter, when we go to Thailand, will you just stay in Bangkok or travel around a bit? Yeah, definitely travel around a bit, Damien, because I'm going to go for 2 months probably. I was there for 5 weeks in December, but 2 months. I don't think I'm going to be flying to Vietnam or anywhere like that this trip because it's still going to be a bit dodgy, as they say. But yeah, I'm going to base myself in Bangkok, and I'm definitely going to go down and see Trevor and the guys again in Pattaya. I'm not going to spend too much time down there because I can't add anything to the you know, you don't need videos from me in Pattaya. There's like everybody and his brothers making videos in Pattaya. But I think I'll do Hua Hin. I'll go to Hua Hin and do a much more detailed video than I did last time. I'll try and find a few hotels to video for you. I'll go and film the local sort of night market where they have a live band and you can get all the food. So I just had a shave, like cut myself to bits. Like, can you see that? And I'll film all that sort of stuff. And then yeah, there's some new bar areas that I touched on when I was in Hua Hin last time, but it was in the day. I'll try and go around at night. But of course, they've got this new law that they've just brought out in Thailand that basically says you're not allowed to film or photograph people's faces without their permission. You know, it's actually you're committing a crime now. So you've got to be very, very careful. I think I might even take a trip up to Isan. It's a 6-hour drive. I might fly up there. If Damien's there, I might pop up to. Well, it's your comment, isn't it? If you're there, I think you're going to be there in August, Damien. I might pop up to Buri Ram to visit you and your better half, see what's happening up there, have a look at the big race course and everything. Yeah. Right, Welsh 32. Should I answer the bar girl's mobile if her Farang boyfriend phones from the States? Oh yeah, absolutely. Tell him what you're doing and how long you've been doing it. He'll tell you all his secrets with her, and you can tell him all yours. That's how you catch him out, isn't it? If you don't pick up the phone, then you're helping her keep a secret. Peter Stone, how easy is the Thailand Pass? Really easy, really easy. Now, all you need to do, you have to get your, I don't know where you are, Peter. I presume you're in the UK. Or you download the NHS app onto your phone, and then you can print off your, there's a barcode there. You can print it off or take it to Tesco's, get it printed, somewhere like that. You want to have the physical piece of paper. That's what they want. And you take a picture of your photograph. You go onto the Thailand Pass website. It's really easy now compared to when they first had it. It costs next to nothing. You've got to have that $10,000 insurance. But somebody told me there is a link on the Thailand Pass website that you can automatically tell it to automatically insure you. But if you use one of the agents, then they'll sort you out the insurance. It's not very, it's much easier to use the agent because what will happen, she'll say, send me a copy of your passport. You can take a picture on your phone. She'll say, send me your barcodes for your vaccination. Send it to her in about £50 and she'll send it back to you. And it's so easy to do it that way. Daniel Mills, Spirit Travels. I've been thinking the same. I've heard those edibles are stronger than they say. Okay. I think you're talking about the cannabis plants, right? Oh. Right, Scott G says, great stories this morning, Peter, too. Yeah, sometimes when I read the stories, Scott, I read them and I think, oh, this is a bit boring. Not today's stories, but sometimes I'll get a story and I think this is a bit boring. Should I put it up? But I always put them up because I think, well, the guys took the trouble to write it to me, sent it to me, and if I don't put it up, he's going to be constantly bombarding me with emails saying, hey, I sent you a story. You said you were short. Why don't you read mine out? So I clear them all out. But I've done the stories for next week. There's a real good one. One of them is really good. Dr. Inviso, hi Peter. Do you think cannabis is going to hurt Patty? No, I don't think it's going to hurt it. I've you know, they're not sort of just opening the floodgates and say, right, if you want to have cannabis in Thailand, it's now totally legal. That's not what it's about. I think, you know, if somebody's interested in growing cannabis plants or whatever, then I think what you really need to do is don't go to a YouTube channel and ask some YouTuber who's going to wing it. Go on to the government website, get it translated through Google Translate. It's easy now, isn't it? And see what the actual government are saying about it. Because you go on somebody's YouTube channel and he just wings it, as I say, you know, pretends he knows what he's talking about and he doesn't. Now you might get the wrong information. Okay, Rini, I like casual streams. Yeah, I do as well. But you know, I'm just feeling really rough tonight. But I might get better as it goes on. We've got 250 in already, so that's quite good. Danish Pagan, you're still on the competition from last night. All right. Gary Hughes, Peter, have you got the photos of the cranes again tonight? Do you know, I found out that girl, somebody wrote to me today, because I don't know who she is. You're talking about the girl who you know, I put that girl, I won't do it all again tonight because it'll just be a rerun of last night's stream. But do you remember the girl, the hypnotizing girl that let me put it on for 2 seconds. Then I'm going to tell you something about her. I'm not going to leave it on, just 2 seconds so you know who I'm talking about. This one. Right, you know who I'm talking about now, right? Somebody actually took the trouble to write to me today and they told me she's an Australian porn star and they told me her name. I forgot. So you know what I did? I went straight onto Google, put her name in with the words porn star, and there was all these really raunchy stuff, you know, but a bit hardcore for me. But yeah, she's an Australian porn star, apparently. What a shame. Okay. Solar Life Portugal. After all you have seen and experienced, Peter, it is great that you are not cynical about human nature. Sure, you will be happy in your new stage in life. Great positive attitude. You've got to do what you've got to do, haven't you? I know that's a cliche, but, you know, what am I going to do? Stay in England and mope? Welsh 32 again. Dutch 2019. I was at a poolside, text message appeared on her phone. Right, Dutch 220. I was at poolside, text message appeared on her phone. She was at a poolside bar message said, "What you doing?" Oh, okay. What you doing, babe? I was tempted to text back. She's doing me. You should have done. You should have done, because what that does, it's not being nasty, but what that's doing, I mean, she's playing the game, isn't she? She's you know, she's got a guy here and she's got you. You should have told him. You should have said, what she's doing is me. I'm with her now. You know, and then it's up to him what he wants to do. It's not being nasty. You know, she's the one who's playing around. Right, Jim Poe, I will be there on. Before I get into this comment, let me just rewind about that girl and telling all the rest of it. I know the girls in Pattaya, they're working, they're making a living, and that's what they do. That's fine. So if they're upfront about it and they say, I work in a bar, I go with customers, I'm making money, I send to my family, absolutely fine. But when they start pretending to be your girlfriend and they don't like anybody else and they're going to wait in their village and they're not going to go with any other guys, they're only going to wait for you, and that's when it gets a bit, you know, the gloves come off then, don't they? And then you tell the guy, yeah, she's doing me. Right. Red Fox, thank you. That comes up on the other screen first. Let me just get that up. Super sticker. I thought there was a message there, but thank you, Red Fox 916. I appreciate that. Very generous of you. Okay, let's try and get back to where we were. Carry on with these. Hello, Black Bolt. Big surprise. Black Bolt, I haven't had any flack today for what I was talking about last night. You know, we were trying to, you call yourself Black Bolt and there's your picture. And I was trying to describe how different people around the world call people of color, they say now, don't they? And I thought I was going to get a lot of flack today, but I must have kind of explained it properly. I didn't get any flack, but nice to see you in again, by the way. Yeah, just a casual stream. It wasn't planned. We'll see how it goes. Right, Gary B71. Peter, have you ever visited Auschwitz? I've got 4 nights booked in Krakow at the end of June. I haven't, but I did a trip once where I visited Colditz Castle in East Germany. You couldn't get there before 1990 because it was in East Germany. And Colditz Castle was where they held the persistent escapers that had escaped from other camps. And then the following day, I went to, I did go to a concentration camp in Germany. It was the one where the American general, he brought the local populace up to show them what had been going on in the camp. Was it Birkenau? Birkenau, did I say that right? Yeah, they're very interesting, those places. I went to the Killing Fields torture place in Cambodia. It was a converted school called I think it was called S21, and there's still dried blood on the floor, you know, and they made these makeshift cells up there. They were literally probably, I would say, no more than about that wide. I'm not exaggerating. They were probably 4 foot wide by 6 foot long, and they had an ammunition box in them to use as a toilet. And there was a lot of torture stuff there, and there was pictures on the wall of all the people who'd been through, their kids, women, men. Horrible place. It was on my mind for 3 days, actually. I couldn't, it was so brutal. I couldn't stop thinking about it for 3 days. And after we went there, they took us to the killing field. There were killing fields everywhere, but they took us to this one killing fields where there were big pits where hundreds of bodies had been thrown in. And I think the worst thing for me, I came on here to try and cheer myself up tonight. I think the worst thing for me, there was a tree, and our guide, there was this tree next to a pit, and the trunk of it was indented like that. And he said to us, what do you think caused that? And we didn't know. And what it was, the Khmer Rouge, what they did, because they killed thousands of people, if it was a kid, they'd pick them up by the ankle, kids, babies, just whack them against the tree. And they'd killed so many of them that it actually indented the tree. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But that was in my brain for about 3 days. Richard Harris, I've lost you. Where are we there? CCS meeting next Friday to decide about Thailand pass. Yeah, I'm fed up of waiting for it, Richard. They keep having these meetings. It's like people were getting their knickers in a twist about this. You know, the Prime Minister visited Phuket, and the what do they call him? The tourist minister was there, and there was this big announcement that the tourist minister said, well, I'm going to suggest to the Prime Minister when he's here that we drop the Thailand pass, and everyone was getting excited about it. And I thought, well, hang on a minute. That's just like me suggesting to my boss, if I had one, that I want a pay rise. Doesn't mean he's going to give me a pay rise. It's just me suggesting it. I could suggest that he changes the company car. It doesn't mean he's going to do it. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, the more meetings they have, then hopefully the closer we'll get to it. Poor folks. Come in March, Bangkok, PP and Phuket. What is there a must do in each place? First ever time, Thailand and solo. I think you'll find PP a little bit boring if you're there on your own too long. I don't know what sort of a traveler you are, but what I would strongly suggest, Phuket's okay. There's a good bar scene. You might not be into the bar scenes, but a lot of guys who come into this channel, they're into the bar scene and the girly scene, all that sort of thing. So I'll just presume you are, right? So what I would say to you, Paul, if it's your first time, yeah, do Bangkok, explore that. There's plenty to do there. Obviously, you must know from the YouTube channels now, if you're staying in Bangkok, you want to stay around Sukhumvit. You want to visit Nana Plaza, Soy Cowboy, maybe Pat Pong. That's a bit rubbish these days. There's a new bar complex in Soy 5 where the German beer garden is. So as you walk down Soy 5, it's all very close together. You probably think, oh, where's that? But you'll know it's very all close together. And as you're walking down to the German beer garden, on your left, there's a big new complex of bars, all neon and lots of girls in there and stuff like that. But I would say if you're going to PP, maybe when you're in Phuket, not Phuket, but maybe you can hook up with a girl for a few days and take her to PP, and then it might be more enjoyable for you. But don't worry, wherever you go, you're not going to be bored, that's for sure. Paul again. Need to order the book for the journey on the next holiday. Be interesting to see what the person next to me would think. There's a link below, Paul. Order away. Order away. It's right there. I'll send it to you. No, it is there. You can get paperback or downloadable version. Have I got it here? I just happen to have a copy here. Look, there we go. Handsome man on the back there. Look. Right. Where are we? Richard. Today's party bus ghost story was great. Just listened to it before joining here. Yeah, I actually mentioned that, Richard. I mean, how weird was that? Can you imagine how dangerous that is? The guy's on the highway driving down to Pattaya, doing probably 80, 90 kilometers an hour. And you've got these 3 young girls from Isan in this bus dancing. I mean, if he'd have hit a car or, you know, I mean, they'd have gone flying, wouldn't they? But yeah, I mean, it was awful when they were sick. But it was a good story. I was smiling every time I read it. Okay, Dutch Franks, thank God for freebies. Okay, Hard Tulip says it's 4:36 p.m. in Toronto. So you're, what are you? 4:36, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, about 6 hours, aren't you? Right. Guns and pleb. What food do you like in Thailand? I like all sorts of food, but my biggest problem is I really can't stand the smell of garlic, and it just totally turns me off. And I know most of you out there will say, "Oh, garlic's good for you. It's great. I love it." I totally get it because it's really weird. I love onions, and the more onions in it, the better. And they're related, aren't they? But the smell of garlic makes me sick, and this is one of the problems I've had over the years with my Korean wife because she puts garlic in everything. Kimchi, the national dish, is like pickled cabbage laced with garlic. I come into the house, it's like talking of Auschwitz. It's like going into. Well, I won't joke about it, but it's strong, and I have to open all the windows and stuff. But generally speaking, I tend to eat a lot of foreign food when I'm in Thailand. I like them because the quality of the foreign food that you get in Thailand is actually better than you get in your own country a lot of the time. But I do eat Thai food. I found a nice Thai restaurant on the start of Soy 7. It's a Thai restaurant, but it's good portions. You pay about 100 baht for a meal. Pattaya is a good option. It's very, very cheap in Pattaya. Lots of places to have an English breakfast, a burger or fish and chip, whatever it is. And there's plenty of places to get Thai food as well. So, but me, I'd say 80% I eat sort of Western food. Okay, Danish bacon again. Are you a fan of the small islands, laying in a hammock on a quiet beach? Not really, because I get bored. It's nice. You get there and you think, wow, this is beautiful. Look at that white sands, and you see the palm tree. It's like a Bounty advert from the 70s. You get in your hammock and you lay there and you think, I'm in paradise. 15 minutes you go by and you think, well, what do I do now? Because, unless you sleep, then, I suppose you could read a book, couldn't you? Yeah, you got the islands. Read a book. Okay. No, what I tend to do, I do like going out to the bars, and it was actually a good thing that they were closing early because it meant I got up early. And one thing I really enjoyed that I hadn't ever experienced before, well, no, I had experienced it before, but it was a long time ago, was when I arrived at Pattaya, because everything was closing at 9 when I first got there, it meant I was going to bed early. So 7-Eleven, you could still get alcohol until midnight. So what I tended to do in Pattaya was I bought a bottle of whiskey, some mixers, put on Netflix on my laptop, watched a movie, had a few whiskeys. But even then, I went to bed at 12. When everything's normal, you don't go to bed till sort of 3, 4 in the morning. But when you go to bed at 12, you tend to wake up at 7. And do you remember that video I made where I was walking along Pattaya Beach at 8 o'clock in the morning? And it's really nice, because there weren't that many tourists there, but most of the tourists aren't up yet. And it's very peaceful. It's very quiet. It's not really, really hot. And first thing in the morning in Thailand is pretty good. But what I'll normally do is I will go out to the bars, probably finish off with a couple of hooters. And then I generally get up sort of mid-morning. And then in the afternoon, I try and do something. So I'll either go to somewhere like Terminal 21 or Icon City, or I like the malls that do all the computer, all the selfie sticks and lights and, I bought some memory cards and things when I was last there. I try and do that, and then I'll tend to get back to the room about 4, have a chill out for a few hours, have an early dinner, and then do it all again. But as I'm going there for sort of a month or 2 months, then I will be traveling. I'll be going to Hua Hin, Chatham, Rayong, because it's cheap, isn't it? And what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to not do it in taxis, because normally on holiday you just jump in a taxi, don't you? So it's, I don't know, 1,200 baht down to Pattaya, something like that. But I'm going to try taking the minibuses again, the Toyota minibuses. But I did promise Apple, Apple, the female taxi driver. I made the video, the worst thing about leaving Thailand. I did say to Apple, look, because we did a bit of filming together, in the taxi, and some guys wrote in and said, oh, you and Apple kind of come out well on the camera, you should do some videos. So I said to Apple on the way, without thinking, I said, oh, when I come back, Apple, we'll do some videos I'll hire you, and we'll go around some places in Thailand. So she keeps emailing me, when you're coming back, and I said, soon, Apple. But we'll see. Right, Leeds. Peter, will you be opening up a bar in Thailand or a coffee shop? Do you know what? It's just what Pattaya needs, another bar. Leeds. No, I'm going out to sort of semi-retire. I'll be doing YouTube, but I want to relax now. I want to have my days in the sun, and I want to sit in the night market at Hua Hin and order a lot of seafood and listen to the live band, and I want to have a nice time, So no, I'm not going to be opening a bar, definitely not. Now that one is a possibly yes. The windmill, the windmill. That's a very we won't say too much about it here, but most guys who have been in there know what it's all about. And I would say yes, a visit to the windmill is definitely on the cards. Bart Bus Bob, not seen you in the stream before. Peter, you're a dirty old monger. Used to be a dirty young monger, Bart Bus Bob, but thanks for that. Okay. There's a few names I haven't seen in here before. Olagway, Peter, are you coming to Phuket anytime soon? Would you like to have some beers? And I thought that said share a room with me. It actually says have some beers and share some stories. When I read it quick, I thought it said, are you coming to Phuket? I would like to buy you some beers and share a room with you. I was like, next. The thing about Phuket, I mean, if you're, I probably will this trip. I haven't got any plans, but the thing is, if you're in Bangkok and you want to visit, it's a minibus ride away. Hua Hin's 3.5 hours, 4 hours, depending on the traffic. Pattaya from Central, I'm not talking about the airport, Central Bangkok, depending on the traffic again, is about 2 hours. Rayong, bit more. Khon Kaen and Isan's about 6 hours, so it doesn't take long. But when, the problem is Phuket, you go down that long strip of Thailand, and it's an island. Driving, it takes 16 to 18 hours. I don't know what the cost of a ticket is, but do you know what? I think this time when I'm there for the couple of months, I think I'll take a trip and fly down and have a week in Phuket and just see what's going on because I haven't been to Phuket for many, many years, and I'd like to see what's there. Now, the last time I was there, I stayed in the CNN Hotel, which I think was Bangla Road, around there somewhere. Milton Water Company, LLC. That's a funny name. Right. Good evening, Peter. Currently working in Angola. I met my wife in, where's that? Bali? Oh, Indonesia. I spent some time in Indonesia 19 years ago. We have twin daughters and now live in Texas. My story turned out great. Just remind me, which one was your story? Where that name there, it doesn't surprise me. I worked in a place called Jakarta. It really was called that. It's East Java. So you've got Jakarta. I worked there as well in a hotel called the Borobudur Hotel in the middle of Jakarta. But I had a stunt in an Ibis hotel, which is in Yogyakarta, which is East Java. I think it's East Java. So I understand now. Yes. Yeah. Which story was it? So obviously I've read your story out and it came out well. That's good. Right, Guns and Pleb, what is your favorite Thai food? It's got to be Pad Thai, hasn't it? I mean, that's such a popular dish. It's easy. It goes down well. And yeah, Pad Thai any time of the day. Right, quite a few new people coming to this stream now. Let me try and catch up on some of these comments. Real Space Hobo. The last story you read was a car crash waiting to happen. Well, I only read them out. You know the old saying, don't shoot the piano player. That's a good point, actually. Ivor says, I've been a monger, then I got bored. And I really understand where you're coming from. I know that's happened to other people. Clive, how are you feeling, mate? Are you recovered yet? Are you, because you were well gone last night on the old sherbet, weren't you? I was as well. I think everybody in the stream was last night. I'm having a few beers now just to try. It's like the hair of the dog, just to try and come round because I feel rough. But it's Sunday tomorrow. I've got nothing to do. No, I should have said that. I'm recording the stories. I've been editing stories all day for next Saturday. It takes me all day, believe it or not. And sometimes I have to completely rewrite them if the guy's first language isn't English. Not criticizing, but if I get a story sent in from somebody from Germany or Danish or whatever, and English isn't their first language, I can understand what they're saying, but sometimes I have to read it and then rewrite it again, so it kind of makes flows a bit better. So I've been doing that all day. But yeah, I think you were well gone last night, Clive. I'm surprised to see you in. Nice, pleasant surprise to see you in. But yeah, hopefully you haven't got a headache now. Brent, let's whiz through a few of these. Brent L, off to Pattaya next week. Got my pass last night, approved in 1 hour, which is what I said to somebody. Somebody was worried about the Thailand pass. I said, don't be worried, it's really fast now. When I did it in December, it was about a week. Kay Jensen, I think you can film in public places without permission from the people you film. In the street should be no problem, but inside a bar could maybe be a problem. That's always been a problem because bar owners don't want you to. Where's that come from? Water. Have I got a leak? I haven't peed myself. Bar owners. Look, I've got a take on it. Right, for me, if a girl is standing on the beach road in Pattaya or she stood outside the Nana Hotel freelancing. I don't think guys, I did it in the early days and I stopped it because I didn't think it was right. Because what it is, you imagine you got a bunch of girls outside the Nana Hotel. I'll come back to this comment, but you imagine you got a bunch of girls stood outside the Nana Hotel and they're working, you know what I mean, right? And then they haven't told their families in Isan, I'm going to be standing outside the Nana Hotel looking for Farang. What they've said is, I'm a cashier in Bangkok, or I've got a job as a waitress. And everyone's got the internet now, even in Isan. It's not you know, it's not the third world, is it? And you can imagine that girl's family, you know, the face thing and all the rest of it. So there you are making your YouTube videos for a hobby or a little bit of money, whatever. You bang it up on YouTube, and this girl's family see her stood outside doing what she's obviously doing. And I just don't think it's right. So as far as filming in bars and girls and that sort of thing, I don't do that now, not at all. And yeah, I mean, in theory, in the UK, for instance, there's guys got channels, because a lot of the people, they don't know the law. So you get these guys, they go out with cameras, and they purposely wind up people, because these people come out of factory and say, hey, you can't film here. This is private property. And the guy with the YouTube channel saying, well, no, it's not. Did you put these bollards here, or is it a council? And they, you know, and they make good videos. I watch them as well. But yeah, you're probably right on that. In a public place, you'd like to think you can film who you want to film. Right, James Casey, how you doing, mate? Hi, Peter. Hi, gang. Sorry, I'm late. Well, I don't know how long it's going tonight, James. Unplanned, unscheduled. I'm starting to get into it now. I was, you know, still hungover. Roger, I'll get through all these comments, guys, because I've got nothing else to do but comments. So if you've left a comment, I'm not ignoring you. I'm running down the list, and I will get to it. Roger Maroney, I think authorities going to release the cannabis prisoners. Yeah, I read that. Apparently what they want to do, because they've got a terrible, let me just find that again. God, they jumped. We got Franco in there. I'll come to you in a minute, Franco, because I don't want to forget this question. Wow, I'm very far behind here. Okay. Yeah, I read that they're going to let some trusty prisoners clean out the drainage system in Bangkok, because you know they have a terrible problem with flooding. Because in the old days, they had a lot of canals in Bangkok, and they filled them in. They filled a lot of them in, hence the flooding. But the drains over many years, rubbish goes into them and they fill up. Who wants to climb into a bloody drain and clear it out with their hands? Because that's what they will clear it out with. So what the government has said, they're considering allowing trusty prisoners out. I didn't read the word cannabis prisoners or drug prisoners. I just read trusted prisoners. And apparently they're going to go down there and flush out all this rubbish. Not the most pleasant job in the world. Right. Gentleman's Pat, after you got your super chat, you skipped a load of messages. Yeah, but I go back to them, because what happens is, like I said last night, I like to say thank you to somebody who gives a super chat. I don't, somebody give me a super chat. I missed that, but thanks for that anyway. It could be anybody. So I always make a point of going down, and then I'll try to go back to where I left off. So if you've left a comment and I've actually gone past it and missed it, then put it again and I'll read it out. But I'm going through the list, and I don't think I don't think I've missed too many. El Terrifico, I visited the torture camp in Cambodia. It was awful, you know. Jim Powell, you skipped my question. Oh, okay, Jim, what was your question? Let me go back and see if I can find it. Because I know it can be annoying, because before I had a YouTube channel, I used to go on people's streams. I used to write questions and comments, and they wouldn't read them out. And I used to get paranoid. I thought, why is he not reading? He's just read that guy's comments. That's after mine. Why isn't he reading mine? And it used to piss me off, to be honest with you. So I know how you feel. But that really isn't the case. No, I can't find it. Write it again. I'll do it. Okay, that's where I was. Kay Jensen. Right, I've done that one. James Casey. Yeah, I've done you. Right, that's it. It was on the cannabis one there. Right. Dutch Frank, I told you in the stream she was a porn star. The thing is, Dutch Frank, on a Friday night, it's going so fast, you know, because I'm thinking 420 people in last night. I'm thinking, right, competition time. Should I do this? Should I do joke of the week? Reading the comments. Oh, is that a troll over there? And sometimes you just don't hear what people say. But, you know, tonight, I mean, it's easy. There's no games or competitions. There's less people in, you know, so I get to read everything out. So, okay. All right. What does that mean? Ivor says, got more convos, but I need help putting it down, Peter. What does convos mean? I'm an old dinosaur. I don't understand abbreviations. All right. Dutch Frank says, what you are describing is called the long game. Yeah, I know what the long game is, but generally in Pattaya, they play the game with a lot of guys at the same time, if that's what you mean. There was a couple of good comments I want to come back to. I've seen yours, Damien. I'm just trying to look for it. Okay, right. Gorgeous Tyler. I asked you how much the airfare was, and you said 690 return Thai Airways. So That'll be a direct flight. If you're leaving on Thai Airways at 12:30 tomorrow lunchtime, that's direct. You've got a better price than I could find in August, but the school holidays are in August, so the kids haven't broken up yet. So that's probably why you've got that price. The best price I could get in August was, I'm just looking at my daughter. She's going to Birmingham for the night with a friend. She's got on the flipping smallest shorts you've ever seen in your life. God. And I sound like an old man now, don't I? Oh, don't even want to think about it. Yeah, that's a good price. That's a really good price considering fuel prices have gone up. I've got all my CCTV up here. You see, I can see exactly what's going on. Okay. Simon says Auschwitz and Birkenau are in Poland near Krakow. Okay, so I don't know the name of the one I went to. The one I went to was definitely in Germany because I went to Germany to visit Colditz, and I didn't go anywhere else, just Germany. Okay, Peter Powell. I will be there on the 26th. I do not plan on returning to America. I would like to know your input as to which type of visa I should apply for so I can stay for good. I'm retired and stable. Retirement visa, Jim, and if you look in the description of this this stream, we can actually do that for you. My partner, my business partner, friend, whatever, we've got relationships with agents in Thailand, and if you write to Simon from that link, it won't go to me. He can sort you out a retirement visa. You don't need 800,000 to go in the bank. You don't need an income of 60, 70,000 baht a month, whatever it is. You pay an agent, they put the money in for you, and they'll get you a 1-year retirement visa. Just make sure you ask for a multiple entry visa. That way, if you've got an emergency, you can go home. You can find your own agent if you want to, but if you don't know and you're thinking about it, check the link in this description. Go onto the website, and there's a lot. There's a drop down box, and it'll say what sort of visa are you looking for. Put retirement visa, and then it will tell you what you need and what you need to do. Okay, and you can write to Simon, and he'll Okay, so I haven't worked out yet. This guy's called me a dirty old man, and now he's saying hello, dirty old men. So Bart Bus Bob. So he's either a troll, a cyberbully, a very disgruntled idiot, or he's a normal guy, and I'm taking him the wrong way. What do you guys think? Let's see. Let's monitor it. Okay, Scott G. Peter, I still laugh about the story you told about the girl who paid her friend to borrow her 7-Eleven uniform to fool her boyfriend's sponsor. She was doing a genuine job. Well, that's actually a true story. And I wouldn't say, hang on. I wouldn't say the girls were really clever, very, very cunning. If there's anybody who didn't in the stream tonight and you'd like to hear that story, I'll bang it off quick. But basically, the girl works in Pattaya. She had a German boyfriend, and she wanted to prove that she wasn't working in the bars. And if I get a few comments, then yeah, tell the story. I'll tell it quick. But yeah, amazing, Scott, how cunning they can be, isn't it? Right, Del Boy K. Speaking of bars, does anyone in the chat from Europe ever go out on a Friday or a Saturday? What in your own country, like here? If I'm understanding the question correctly, the last time I went out to a pub in the UK was probably. No, actually, it wasn't that long ago, because when I have friends visit me, you don't want to sit in the house and talk, do you? So you go out to a pub. But it was probably 3 years ago, and just a local sort of pub. But then I'm older, aren't I? So I'm not looking for entertainment here. And for me, the way I look at it is, okay, I'll go out for a meal. That's not a waste of money. But if you go out drinking in a bar in the UK, it's just a waste of money. You might as well save that money till you get to Thailand so you have a better time. Right, Franco, there you are. Please do be patient, everyone. If he's missed your questions, then rewrite them as he's trying to catch up. Thank you, Franco. Absolutely. Okay, so this guy is definitely a banker. He works in a bank. When you say hook up with a girl, do you mean prostitute? No, what I actually mean, Bart Bus banker, you won't be leaving any more comments on this stream. Mummy's coming. Right, Alexander de Grant. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Alex. Del Boy, guys like that used to upset me, but they're actually pathetic, aren't they? Because some guys watch Netflix, other guys will come on the stream and have a beer with me. We're doing this sort of thing, and there's this guy. He's so disgruntled with his own life. He's still got so much not going on in his own life that he comes on here and leaves derogatory comments, and it doesn't bother anyone, does it? But what a sad individual, isn't he? Really, you've got to feel sorry for him, really. But it's like my dad always said, you can't feel, you have to be kind to sick animals, don't you? You can't sort of kick them in when they're down. Right. Pat's Fan B, staying at the Oriental in October for my 16th on the manga hunt. do you know what? The Oriental is one of the oldest hotels in Bangkok. It's also one of the most luxurious. I mean, it's classed as not officially, but a 6-star hotel. It's very, the gardens are beautiful in the Oriental, absolutely beautiful. It's got that colonial look about it, the Oriental. But the only problem with mongering, bringing a girl back to the Oriental, marble floors, clip clop, clip clop, clip clop at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to go in unnoticed. All right. Right, Damien. Peter, do you remember in the 90s and early 2000s when there were cooking street food in Nana Plaza? They were great days. They have moved the food vendors further down the road now. Yeah, I do. It was good and it was bad. It was good that you could get a few chicken sticks and stuff like that. But if you were sitting in Big Dogs or somewhere like that, now what I've noticed, those food stands that are out on the road in Soi 4. So say if you're in Big Dogs or that's the one on the corner as you walk into Nana, or Stumble In, Night and Day, any of those ones, they do still have food carts there, but they've got really strong fans. So in the old days, they'd be cooking on charcoal and the smoke would be going every which way. And you'd be sitting in a bar and it was like, you know, you get all this smoke in your face. It was awful with the smell of chicken and squid and all that. And I've noticed now those carts actually have really strong, powerful fans that suck up the smoke and take it up away. You still smell it, but it's not as bad. But those food carts, they were only really in the entrance, weren't they? You had May, the Indian lady. She used to, as you walk in, first on the right, she was the lady who did the chicken sticks, 10 baht each for foreigners. I met her when I first got to Thailand. May was 17. She looks Indian, but she's actually from southern Thailand. Girls from Southern Ireland look Indian. Her name's May. She was 17. She's now about 40 odd. She's got a son. Actually, when I was there last time, her son was there. He's about 17, 18. And I said to her, I said, Mate, who's this guy? Is it you got a new boyfriend? And she's like, that's my son. I'm wow. You know, so yeah. Paul Hoskin. I always find it hard being with a bar girl. What can you say to that? I mean, what can you say? All right. World Traveller Forever. Nice surprise to see another stream today. Time to grab a few beers and enjoy the show. Yeah, it's very relaxed today. We've been going for an hour already, nearly. It won't be a super long one tonight, but we'll keep it going. Dick's enormous. I've seen you in Ed Sweeney's stream a few times. Will Pats get back to the glory days? Yeah, of course it will. But mind you, I did read an article. I mentioned this last night that a lot of the girls now they're online, and the article was saying a lot of them don't want to come back to the bars because they go onto these sites and they'll get 30 guys come into their stream, like a stream like this, and they do teasing and they'll say, right, well, the next super chat I get or whatever they call it on the platform, this button comes undone, you know, and it's not restrictive like YouTube is. Maybe something like OnlyFans or some adults. So you got this young, gorgeous Thai girl who's worked previously swinging around a pole, and she's like, you know, send me $10-$20. This button comes undone, and in the end, apparently, I've not watched them, but in the end, they're totally naked, and guys are like, well, here's $20, do this pose, and here's 20, and apparently, some of them are making thousands and thousands of dollars from the comfort of their homes, you know, and then they just switch it off and eat their fried rice, whatever. So why would they want to come back to a sweaty old bar sitting with old foreigners from all around the world for a few ladies' drinks? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I think Pattaya will get back into full swing, absolutely, because everybody goes there, so it'll attract a certain crowd. Paul, the world's gone contactless, payment mad, assuming it's mostly cash in Thai. Is it the best to change pounds there? Yeah, I mean, you don't want to change them here, really. I say most people I know what they do. I'll tell you what I do. So you get some really nice notes, higher denominations are better. Don't get any with tears on them, writing on them, sellotape, anything like that. They'll reject them. They've got to be virtually perfect notes. And then what I'll do, I'll take a couple of grand, £2,000, £3,000, however long I'm going for. When I get to the airport at Bangkok, well, I don't do this anymore. I'll tell you why in a second. I used to change up £50 in the airport because the rate's not very good in the airport at Bangkok. But the reason I did it is because I always bought a SIM card from the shop by the luggage carousel. They've got a couple of phone SIM cards there, and I need to get on the internet and everything. So I'd change up 50. I'd buy a SIM card. I got money for the taxi. And then when I went out in the evening, I put the bulk of my money in the safe, and I'd take out maybe £200, change that. I'd get, at today's rate, 8,000 baht, and that'd do me for the night, probably 2 nights. And then when that is running low, I was down to 1,000 baht, 1,200 baht. I'd change another 200. I went on like that. But I don't tend to do the airport bit anymore because what I tend to do is I tend to change £100, just before I leave, and I keep it. I've got 4,000 baht in my house now, which I purposely changed up. So that means when I get to Thailand, I've got 4,000 baht on me already. I don't need to change any money, and I can just go. But in answer to your question, yeah, I mean, take all your money to Thailand and change it there. Just make sure the notes are good. Delbo K, Bart Bus Bob. Mine are open-minded and don't care for what others think. Okay. What does that mean? Bart Bus Bob, mine are, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, well done. Right, Dutch Farang. Paul Folks, change your pounds in the basement of the airport. Well, he doesn't have to anymore, Dutch Fran, because you're talking about super rich, aren't you? So you're saying go to the basement to super rich. And you are quite right. They do give out the best rates, but there is a super rate, a super rich now, right next to Terminal 1. I forget the name of the building, but there's a super rich in there. So you can, on Sukhumvit, so you can actually do it there. Nick T, I stayed in Jogjakarta a while, Peter. Amazing visiting Borobudur and a nearby active volcano. Yeah, I was there for about 6 months. Okay, I'm getting through the comments, guys. I will get to yours. I tell the significant other half I go to Thailand for the sport of bird watching, not golf. Then you get a lot of golfers in Thailand. Mario, a few guys I haven't seen in the stream before. Mario Herrera, is it? I tell this. Okay, I've just read yours. Clive, I've gone now, Peter. All right, you're okay now. Good. I'm gone now. You're gone again, Clive? You're gone again? You're drunk again? Blimey. Take it easy. Okay, Dutch Farang. He's probably not in the stream anymore now, Dutch Farang, because I've actually blocked him. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I let him put up a few comments, but he's had his fun. But you've said, Bart Bus Bob, you should go to Pattern and play White Knight and come back to the channel to tell your success story. Absolutely, absolutely. Right, Angels Cabal. I agree. You should not film people without their permission. Okay. Right. How do I say that? Wheelstone Raider. What is working? That's a bit of a cryptic message. Do you want to elaborate on that? And I'll read it again. Pete Bailey, 7 a.m. here in Newcastle, Australia. I love that MBK in Bangkok for electronics and gadgets. It's not the best place anymore. They've got a whole floor of electronics. It's okay, but they've got a better one now. I've actually got a. I'm not just telling you this so you go off and watch my video, but I really can't remember the name of it, but they've got a mall that is just, it's all it is electronics, and it's fantastic. What was it called now? I went there with Michael. Can't remember. Right, Thai Billy Boy. Oh, where's that gone? I'm going to try and find that now. James Casey says, can I get a retirement visa at 42? No, you have to be at least 50, James. So don't wish your age away. I wish I was 42. Brian, did I say thank you for that one? Is that a second super chat? Don't skip my message. Just have another drink and cheers to all. Okay, Brian, thanks again. I'm trying to find out where I left off because yeah, okay. I didn't want to kind of say it so bluntly, but yeah, I know where you're coming from there. Right. Yeah, I'm trying to get through all of them, but I'm going to miss a few, aren't I? Okay, Dave Salisbury says, Peter, fly to Pattaya mid-December, £995. Yeah, the prices I was seeing were anywhere from 840, going up to about 1,350, and that was economy. But don't forget, guys, the aviation fuel has doubled, hasn't it? Right, okay. Darcy, hi. I've just seen your comment. How are you doing? Okay, there's another one I haven't seen. Cash. It's the Western sponsors that bar girls want to keep in the dark, not their family back in Isan, who are smart enough to know good money does not come from other jobs. I'm going to totally disagree with you on that one, Cashier. I agree with the first part of it where you say it's the Western sponsors that Thai bar girls want to keep in the dark. Absolutely true. But I've been friend with quite a lot of Thai bar girls. And I mean, real friends. I haven't been a customer because I've had friends who own bars, and I've had this conversation many, many times. And their families don't know. Perhaps they suspect, but they're not sort of saying to each other, our knock works in a go bar and pack, and she goes off with customers every night. They don't. They try to hide it from their families. I'm sure the families strongly suspect, but it never gets to the point where they say, yes, that's what I do. So respectfully, I will disagree with you on that. Darcy, I'm on the vodka tonight. Good man. Okay, I found my place again. Right, Darcy says, if you wait till November, the flights are still reasonable at 6:40. Do you know what, Darcy? I don't. Yeah, good point. But I don't really care, to be honest with you. I'm going in August, and I'm one of those guys. I've made up my mind. I'm going. Whether it's 8:50 or 13:50, I'm going, and that's the end of it. If it suddenly went up to $3,000, then I wouldn't be going. I was thinking about going economy upgrade. You know, they've got a class between economy and business class, which is a bigger seat and everything. It's quite nice. But they're quoting now for that over £2,000. Before the pandemic, it was probably around a regular Eva Air economy was about $550, and that economy upgrade I think was around $1,250. But I want over $2,000 now. I'll just stick to economy. Yeah, Kay Jensen, dads against daughters dating. Right. Any update on the Bali High Tower? No, nothing from my end, I'm afraid, mate. Okay. Paul, I'm not a dirty old man. I clean it 3 times a day. I'm not going to put any more of yours up for a while, Paul. Frank Travels, getting agents to put money in the bank. Yeah, but what are you trying to say? It's a good thing? It's a bad thing? Right, Clive again. Hey, Peter, I voted Brexit back a few years, and my best mate is Polish. Love the weird Euro types. Yeah, I voted out. I don't know if that was a good idea, actually. Let's not get political, though. Carl again. Hi, Peter. This morning's story of the girls on the coach was hilarious. Yeah, I mean, you could feel for them, couldn't you? Feel for the girls, actually, being sick. Dave Andrews says, today checking from Glasgow to Bangkok in September, 750 return with Emirates, but via Phuket, not great for September. Yeah, I don't like them kind of flights. When I booked my last trip, the return I could only get via Phuket. So what would have happened, I would have boarded in Bangkok, gone to Phuket, and then come back to the UK. And instead of it being a 12-hour flight, it was an 18-hour flight, but I didn't have any choice. But I was really lucky because when I got infected and I stayed another couple of weeks, and I phoned up Thai Airways and said, look, can I change your ticket? I actually got a direct flight Bangkok to London. So that was quite a bit of luck. Canary spreads his wings. Hi, how you doing again tonight? Just joined, didn't know you were on, but good that I've caught up with you. I didn't know I was on. It was just a last minute thing. Del Boy again. Peter, myself and Dutch Frank have called him out, Bart Bus, but he doesn't reply because he's of his limited education. I don't think he can now, Del Boy, because the thing is I've actually blocked him. So even if he wanted to come on and leave a message, he couldn't. It will be rejected. We've got that facility in YouTube. You've got to have it because you'd have people come in here and just be totally... I don't mind when people come in and say things like, oh, you're a pervert or you're a dirty old man or something like that. You expect it, don't you, on a channel like this? But you can get some people who come in with some very, very bad comments. And they're the sort of people you... sometimes guys, even guys who are in the streams regular, they'll have a few drinks and they get a little bit too close to they sail a little bit too close to the wind, and it would be very easy to block them. But you know the guy from previous streams that he's actually okay. He's probably had too much to drink, so you can put them on a timeout for sort of 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes maybe, and then see how it goes. And you can keep doing that, and then hopefully when they come back in the stream next time, they're back to normal. So you don't want to block. I don't want to block guys who are okay, who've just had a bit too much to drink. Angels Cabell. I've noticed when Brian Flowers does a stream, he never reads out the name of the person who's left the comment. Like I left a comment on Brian Flowers from he's in the UK at the moment, and I left a live stream. He was talking about the UK, the good points, the bad points, and I said, yeah, Brian, you forgot to tell everybody that summertime in the UK was last Wednesday. And he read the comment out, but I noticed he doesn't say, oh, Thailand-bound says this, or Del Boy says that, Pat's Fan B says it. He just reads the comment out. So it's very, very neutral. Is that the word? Do you think that Thailand will get more westernized over the next 10 years, or do you think it will be able to preserve Thai culture, more relaxed pace of life? It's already gone that way. It's already gone that way. When I first arrived in Thailand in 1991, it was totally different to what it is now. you didn't see fat people. You didn't see fat Thais. You see a lot of them now. Why? Because you've got Burger King, you've got McDonald's, you've got all the crap that we've had in the West for years. Yeah, it's going like a very, very Western society. And I read somewhere now, because the Thais they've got great respect for elders, you know, and they don't put them in care homes. But I've now read that some care homes, Thais are looking down that sort of way of doing things. Yeah, it's going to end up like Singapore one day, isn't it? Or Hong Kong. It's just how long will it take to get there? Frank Travel says Turkish Airlines are very cheap, but again, you're going through the Middle East, aren't you? Sunshine Man, I haven't seen you in before. Right, what a bonus. Saturday night. Oh, you must have been in. I've missed you, have I? What a bonus. Saturday night with Peter and the guys. Last night during the stream, I was drinking the oldie lager you recommended. Very nice, but only drinking tea tonight. Oh, you lightweight tea. Right. I'm gonna hit a whiskey. Over 300 in now. I said I wouldn't. I just happened to have it there because I filled it up today. I decanted into a small bottle, and I said I wouldn't have one, but I'm gonna have one. How long have we been going? Hour and 10 minutes. Right, guys. Cheers. It's Friday night still. We haven't stopped. Oh, if I don't do a stream next Friday, it's because my wife found me tomorrow morning dead from alcoholic poisoning. But I'm sure you'll hear about it. Right, Scott G again. That Bart guy bus was definitely a troll. Yeah, but they don't bother me, Scott. They're just numpties, aren't they? Okay. Pat B, I've been watching your vids. Huge help, mate. Huge. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I've been very. I'm not a service. I mean, those helpful videos that you talk about, I'm glad you found them helpful. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm doing it for myself, aren't I? Really, to keep the channel going. If people engage and it helps them and they enjoy the stories and things like that, you know, because obviously I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to be full time in Pattaya, not Pattaya, Thailand. Sorry. And then it really will be not Thailand-bound, but Thailand resident. And, you know, but in the meantime, over the last 2 years, all these videos I've made from experience, if some people have got something out of them, then that's very good. But what I've noticed now, I've had a lot of people write in or have read on other places that there are a lot of guys who have never been to Thailand. They never thought about going to Thailand. They've been watching all these videos. I'm like, blimey, I'm 50 and I can go out there and get girls, you know, and it's not only for that. A lot of guys look at these videos and say, wow, it looks fantastic, beautiful beaches, nice food, and maybe you can get a girlfriend. And a lot of people are now going who weren't going. And I don't know if that's such a good thing now, because it's going to drive prices up, isn't it? Matthew, 4-hour stream, Peter, get on the whiskey. You did this to me last night, Matthew. I am, but it's not going to be 4 hours. You know why? It's Sunday tomorrow and I want to enjoy my Sunday. And what happened last night, I didn't go to bed till 2:30. I ate something which I shouldn't do at night. I woke up at 8:30 this morning to let Benji out because he was crossing his legs. I've been doing the stories all day, so I'm pretty knackered at the moment. And I want to wake up refreshed tomorrow and just relax, meet Frankel for a pizza later in the day. And then just, you know, I'm back at work on Monday. Okay, Scott again. Plenty of comments from you tonight, Scott. A lot of ladies have probably quit the bars for good due to the likes of OnlyFans. Well, that's what I was saying, Scott, and you can't blame them, can you? And what I actually noticed when I was in Pattaya, I don't know if this is related to it, but you know, when you're out and about, you see girls of all ages in the Goga bars, primarily the younger ones, you know, 21 upwards. There wasn't any Goga bars open, but I did notice in most of the bars, the girls were older. Like they looked like sort of 38, 40 upwards. I didn't see many kind of 20, 30-year-olds, that sort of thing. Not that I'm into that. I'm just stating a fact. So, yeah, possibly that's the reason. Right, Johnny Red, it helps in the UK now having plastic notes as they can't be torn up. Yeah, absolutely. And once again, if you don't know about that, you want to take notes that are in very good condition. This Martin, you put that every night and it always puts a smile on my face. Evening shaggers. If you're not from the UK, think Austin Power. Right, Dutch Frang again. There will always be new girls who would be happy to replace those who are gone. Yeah, absolutely. Kay Jensen, it's not going to be a long one tonight. More or less, also my thoughts. Every time I walk into a bar in Thailand, and then it's that old thing, isn't it? When your friends said to you, come out for a couple of cold beers on a Sunday night, and you say, no, I've got work tomorrow. I'm not going. They say, come on, just come out for a few beers. And you say, all right, but I'm definitely 100%. I don't care what you're saying. I'm out the door at midnight. I'm jumping in the taxi and that's it. Yeah, of course you are. And you roll in at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, that used to happen to me in Therme Cafe. I used to be out with some guys and I had to get back, not because I was working at the time, but I didn't want to sleep all day. And what I ended up doing, I used to sneak out the back door. You know, if you're familiar with Therme, I think it's near Soy 11. I forget the name of the hotel, but it's in the basement. And they had, in those days, I don't know if they still have, they had two entrances. One was on Sukhumvit down the stairs, and you could come in from the side. The toilet was actually literally next to the kitchen. She'd be frying up all the fried rice, and you'd be there with your old fella out having a pee. Oh, what's on the menu tonight? Yeah. And what I used to do, I mean, I'd be in there at 2 a.m. I thought, I've got to go home and sleep. I'm drunk. And I'd say to my friends that I was there with, I'd say, look, I'm just going to the toilet. And I'd disappear. I'd go out the back door and jump in a cab. And then next day they'd phone me up and say, what happened to you? And I'd have to lie and say, oh, there was a pretty girl out there. And I just couldn't resist. And, you know, I'd do it again next week. Right. Canary spreads his wings. Too many guys with too much money is a problem, and being lonely and depressed in Europe, US. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, will I be one of those guys? I'm going to be single for the first time in Thailand. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I'm sure people will. Oh, excuse me. That's a beer, that is. People will approach me, but, you know, I've never been single in Thailand. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I won't be putting a story out on a Saturday morning saying that there's an anonymous YouTuber who fell in love and this happened, he lost all his money and he's back. That won't be happening to me. Right, Pacemaker 2005. I booked my flight in February for December, London to Bangkok, £520 Thai direct. That's a really good price. How did they manage that then? Oh, it's in February though, isn't it? It's probably towards the end of February, which is the you're getting out of high season. Everyone's coming back. Right. Happy as Larry. Great stuff, Peter. Elbow cough. Yeah. Cash again. Premium economy is worth the premium. Now, will I agree with this or not? Premium economy is worth the extra for long haul. Yeah, absolutely agree with you. IMO. What does that mean? But business was priced at $6,000 last time I checked. No, thanks. Okay, so I'm not going to disagree with this time, but what I would say on the business class flights, if you have a company and the more you spend, the more is tax deductible, then it's all academic, isn't it? It's like somebody who's got a big company and they buy a nice flash top of the range Merc every year. They're not, it doesn't matter if they buy it or they don't, because what happens is that is a company expense that instead of going to the tax man, it goes to that car. So if you've got most of us don't have a huge company. I'm just making the point that if you bought a business class ticket through your company as an expense to go on business, it doesn't matter. You're not going to miss some money, are you? But like I say, most of us aren't like wealthy businessmen. Welcome to Planet. A lot of these names I'm not recognizing. Welcome to Planet Dirt. Can you smoke weed in Thailand now? I don't think so. No, that's not what they weren't talking about that. But like I said to somebody earlier, don't listen to any YouTubers because you'll probably get wrong information and end up in jail. Go and look on the Thai government website. If you can't find it in English, just copy and paste, put it in Google, tell it to translate it to English. Right, I know when overseas, James Casey, but if you're in your 40s now, then you could likely get normal retirement visa once you're 50. Well, that's what I said, no one overseas. It's quite low, the age to get a retirement visa. It's 50, which is very, very good. But if you're 40, I think you said you're 42, James. I wish, I tell you what, guys, I wish I was 42 again. When I was 42, I thought, well, I'm middle-aged, I'm old now. But you know what, now that I'm 62 and I look back, 42, I still felt young. I still feel young now, but I'm not, obviously. But yeah, 50, you're right. Right, Mark Saunders. Hi, Peter. 2 streams in a row. You'll be hungover tomorrow. I booked direct. I don't care, really. I booked a direct flight from Heathrow to Bangkok, 760. Yeah, you're all sort of paying about the same price, aren't you? But when are you going? Did you say? Yeah, you didn't say when you're going, though. You see, don't forget, I've got a part-time job that I do. I drive these kids, 5 kids. I take them to school. I pick them up from all around. They're not vulnerable. What do you call them? Not disadvantaged. Special needs, so special learning difficulties. Now, I do an hour in the morning. I pick them up in the afternoon from the school and I drop them all off again. It's a great little number because it gets me out of the house. I'll be working on YouTube all the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't see the light of day. So I get out for an hour in the afternoon and it pays quite well as well. But I'm kind of contracted until the start of the summer holidays. And I've told the council that I'm not doing it anymore. I could stop tomorrow, but I don't want to let them down because you don't burn bridges, do you? Because if it all goes tits up in Thailand, which I'm sure it won't, I can come back, knock on the council's door and say, listen, I need to drive a minibus again. And I can be earning £1,000 a month for 2 hours a day like I am now. You know, so I don't burn my bridges. Right, Scott again. Wonder how Thailand will be in 20, 30 years. I think it's quite predictable, actually, Scott. I think it'll be like Singapore. It'll be like, I think all of Asia. I think the days of, love you long time from Vietnam and all that sort of stuff, and straw hats and buffaloes and all that, that'll all be gone. It'll all be sky trains, MRT. They'll all be carrying briefcases and filofaxes or whatever they're called. And not filofaxes. That's from the 80s, isn't it? 90s. But it's sad, really. I think for older guys who went to Asia 30 years ago, like I did, I think we had the best of it. It was modern enough. There was air conditioning. There was enough luxury, and things were good, but it wasn't too advanced, if that makes sense. It was still fun, and it's still a lot of fun now. But I wouldn't like to go there in 30 years' time. I think it's going to be like America, Canada, the UK, Australia. It's going to be like everywhere. We're not going to have countries. We're going to have a world planet all the same, aren't we? And I'm a great believer as well. I think there'll be, I don't know how long it'll take, but I believe one day we'll all speak the same language and we'll all be the same color, because everything's merging now. Look when there's a virus, within a week or so, it's worldwide infections. So the color of everybody around the world all intermixing. I think eventually it might take 100 years, 200 years. I don't know. But I think we'll all be the same color one day. And I think we'll all speak the same language. And I think every country will be virtually the same. What a boring world. Clive, weed is still legal, laugh out loud, just for medical purposes and to certain strength. Yeah, I wouldn't even mess about with weed in Thailand. Thais eat an insane amount of sugar, in fairness, shed loads of starch in all that rice also. Don't think it's purely down to Western influence. Right, health issues, no, I agree with you, but I'll just tell you why I said that, because I've made an observation over the years, because I've been going to Thailand for a very long time, nearly 3 decades now. I myself personally, I've noticed this. So it was really rare to see an overweight person. So you're right about the sugar. So what that does, it brings on diabetes, and Thailand has one of the highest rates of diabetes in the world because of that. Just like India has got one of the highest rate of heart attacks and strokes, because they use a lot of ghee. Ghee is, if you boil butter, the real fat that floats to the top, you scrape that off. It's called ghee, and the Indians put that in everything, and that's why there's a lot of big heart attacks in India. But sugar in Thailand, yeah, it's a big cause of diabetes. I'm not so sure about the weight thing, but I've noticed over the years people are getting bigger. And when I first went to Thailand, if you had a bit of a pot, I didn't have a pot belly, but sometimes I'd go out with somebody who'd have a pot belly, and it was quite funny because the Thais would come up to the person with a pot belly and they'd rub the pot belly and they say, "Oh, him too much money. You have too much money." And you say, "Why do you think he's got too much money?" Because he's fat. And the theory behind it was they've got so much money because they can eat what they want, and that's why they've got fat. And that's what they used to think, but they don't think that anymore, of course. But quite interesting. You're a bad influence on me, Scott. I'm not going to listen to you tonight. Right, Scott Thomas, another Scott. What would be your top 5 go-go bars and 5 regular bars to visit in Pattaya? I'm not really familiar with Pattaya now, Scott. I did a video about a year ago, which was entitled actually what you've just said. It was based in Bangkok. It was my 5 favorite go-go bars and my 5 favorite bars between Soy Cowboy and Nana. Pattaya, I can only go back to the days when I used to hang out in Pattaya a lot. I mean, back now it's completely changed. I was there in December. Do you know? I'll give you an example. Tree Town, Soy LK Metro, Soy Poto, all that. There was nothing when I lived in Pattaya in 1996. I think it was 5. That wasn't there when you were on the second road. So all you had the beach road, you had Walking Street, Soy Diana, and all that. You had the carousel. That was all there. And you had the soys that linked the second road to the beach road. So 6 wasn't that popular back then. So you had Soy 7, Soy 8, Soy Post Office, all them soys. But when you were on the second road, that side where all that is now, that wasn't there. There was nothing. But back in the day, my favorite go-go bar, and I imagine it still would be, was Happier Go-Go on Walking Street. It was always the best one. But I'm not going to wing it and BS. Honestly, Scott, right now I couldn't tell you. So when I go there for the 2 months, perhaps that's a mission I should take up. Visit a lot of go-go bars. Just out of what do they call it? Market research. So, okay, Matthew again. Right, get on it, Peter. Cheers, mate. Yeah, cheers. Matthew says again, what's everybody drinking? As Mr. Mackay used to say in Porridge, purely for medicinal purposes. Do you remember the movie Porridge? Very good. He was a character, wasn't he? What was his name? You know, Mr. Mackay. I know his name. That was his stage name. His name was Fulton something. It will come to me in a minute. Right, James Casey, a nomad overseas. Yeah, I get you. When I'm there in November, I will suss it out once I switch over to bank. But James, what are you going to do? Are you planning to sort of live full time in Thailand now at 42? That's quite interesting. Are you an IT person, or how would you finance your lifestyle? Let me just say thank you again to Stephen, a very generous man. Chug, chug, chug. All right, yeah. Okay, I'll do it with this one now, if that's what you mean. You're always very generous, Stephen. You do a lot of super chats. Thank you. It's really weird doing this stream and not saying, right, well, let's do a competition now, or let's do this cartoon, or let's do this. It's really weird just sitting. It's kind of relaxing. It's an hour, just coming up for an hour and a half. I was thinking in the back of my mind, I'll do an hour and a half tonight, but you know what? I think I'll do a bit more. It won't be 4 hours, guys. Believe me. I know I said that last night, but it definitely won't. I've got to put on the banjo music because it's that time. I do have to water the daisies. They won't water themselves. Give me half a minute. Yeehaw! I'm always trying to change music and stuff. Did you see me sitting there like a lemon at the end of the stream yesterday? I made a little bit of a boo-boo. You know, when I end, I say thanks for watching my stream, and I try and play out with some nice music. And last night, I changed it to a different song. But what I did the last time, so I had the card, and you do it in video editing software. So you got the card that says thank you. Underneath, you've got the music stream. And what I did is when the music ended, I left the card for another 15 seconds so that when you're watching it at the end, it will happen tonight because I haven't done it yet. When you're watching at the end, normally the music will end, but the card stays there. Then I'll end the stream, and then it just goes off. But because I didn't do that, the music ended, it stopped, and there I was sitting like a lemon, and I had to turn it off. So I'll have to try and catch it tonight. Right, okay. If you just joined us, guys, welcome to the stream. Unscheduled and unplanned, as they say. We had 268 in now. So let's keep it going for a while longer, and let's get into your comments. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the ghee. I worked, you know that hotel called, you might not believe this, it's absolutely true. You know the hotel that they made a movie about in Bombay, now they call it Mumbai, called the Taj Mahal Hotel that was attacked? I actually worked in that hotel for 1 year. I ran a nightclub in that hotel. I was in food and beverage, but I particularly ran a nightclub in that hotel called the 1900s. We used to get all the stars in there. One of the biggest actors I met there was an actor called, I'll try and pronounce it. He was called Amitabh Bachchan. I think that's how you pronounce it. His son married one of these Miss Worlds, Ashwani, I think her name was. When I was there, his son was 17. I had a fantastic time in India. That was a fantastic hotel. And when I tell Indians here in the UK that I met Amitabh Bachchan, they just can't believe it. You know, they say, you met this guy? He's like the Michael Jackson of India. You know, no, not Michael Jackson. He's like the Robert De Niro of India, you know. And yeah, he used to come into all the stars in India, they'd come into this hotel. It was top hotel. And, you know, I just happened to work there. But it wasn't until I left India that I realized who they were. You know, I met the lady who runs the Tata Group, who make the buses and does the fashion shows. I met the Miss World, the Miss Universe. When I say met them, I mean, you know, they were there and I was here, and, you know, all them sort of people, you know, they've got a channel on the TV. They're called Channel V. It's a music channel. The presenters who, like, it's like MTV, the presenters on there, they'd all come in there. But of course, I didn't know them. Once I left, I found out who they were. But I'm going way off subject now. That butter chicken. So why I'm telling you all that is, when I was there in the Taj, I lived in the tower block, the 2 parts of Taj, and I was entitled to room service, and I always ordered the butter chicken. And you're right, it's absolutely delicious. But I put on so much weight that if I'd stayed there, I probably wouldn't have got out the door trying to exit. Okay, Cashew again. Thanks to Western streaming like OnlyFans, younger Thai women only drink in bars. Okay. Well, we don't know for sure. We'll have to see when it all gets back to normal, or as near as normal as it will get to. Okay. Well, okay. I don't want to. Basically, we'll talk a little bit about your comment on screen. I don't really want to point the dirty end of the stick and say it's all America's fault, because you know, in the UK, it's just Europe's just as bad now. But one thing that I did think was very, very sad. I like watching documentaries, and I watched it, and I'm not anti-American. I'm not an American hater. I've been to America. I've got American friends, and I was very impressed in America, in particular with the service. I found it very, very good in restaurants and stuff. Makes the UK look really bad, you know. So I'm definitely not going to do any America bash. It's not about that. But what I will say, what I found very sad. Let me just see if this is on. Yeah, it is on. What I found very sad is I watched a documentary about these Polynesian islands. And, you know, these Polynesian people, they wear grass skirts and flowers, and it's all palm trees and beaches. And, you know, they were some of the healthiest people in the world. You know, they caught fresh fish from the sea every day. They took coconuts from the trees. It was all fresh produce. You know, they were healthy people. They're on volcanic rock, a lot of these islands, so they can't actually grow. They can't grow a lot of vegetables, but they eat healthy products anyway. And in the 50s, America did nuclear. Now, look, I don't know all the facts. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen in the documentary. So there were certain tests done with the military. Let's put it that way, right? There were certain tests done with the military on some of these islands. They compensated the locals and all the rest of it. But the long shot of it was it destroyed the local. They couldn't live naturally. So what happened is America provided a lot of food for these people, but of course it was all corn syrup and real cheap food. And these people now, you won't believe it, these Polynesia, I think it's Polynesia, one of these kind of places, all these beautiful women who had hourglass figures, and, you know, they wore grass skirts, fat, massive, really big, because they're eating sugar frosted cereal, sugar, you know, everything sugar, corn syrup, really cheap ingredients, high calorie, diabetes. And I thought that was really, really sad that this, you know, that these people from a beautiful paradise on earth ended up like this because of the interference from another nation. Like I say, it's not anti-American. It's just happened. It was the times they lived in back then. You know, the British were just as bad, weren't they, if not worse. But it's very sad to watch things like that. Okay, Dr. Inviso, is it? Okay, to hell with the cannabis question. yeah, absolutely. Peter, where would you rather stay on soy 11 or soy 4 impact for the best time? Well, the thing is, soy 4 is, I am actually going to stay on soy 4 because I stay in a hotel right at the very end where they used to have the tobacco monopoly. They've got rid of that now. They turn it into an urban kind of park. You know, it's all natural nature. They're building it now. And it was the last building on the left at the end. The good thing about being in soy 4, if you go out in soy 4, there's plenty of places to eat and drink, and you just walk down the road and get back on the back of a motorbike taxi. It's all there. Soy 11 is a much cleaner soy, a much more of an upmarket soy, as in the restaurant. They have a lot more choice in restaurants. They have a couple of nice hotels in. You did say soy 11. They've got the Ambassador, which is the round building. They've got is it the Swiss something or other? But it depends what you want to do. I mean, they're both good soys. Personally, I'd rather stay on soy 4 because you don't have to. It's crossing over Sukhumvit, isn't it? I know it's not a big deal, but you know, you sweat. You know, you do yourself up. You get the old aftershave, pull your underpants out. You know, the aftershave. Like, ow. You know, and then you walk down Sukhumvit. It doesn't seem far. You walk down Sukhumvit, cross over the zebra crossing. You're already sweating. You know. So personal choice. Pesky McNuggets, you were in Ed's stream quite a few weeks ago. Dare you do 5 hours? I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make 3 hours. I'm absolutely shattered. I mean, I'm having a drink now. I think I'm going to have an early night, but I'm not going yet. This is a problem with these streams. You get to it because I'm thinking, okay, I'll go in and watch a movie later on and then maybe go to bed about 12:30. But the later you go on, you're actually getting into it and you have a drink and then it gets to a point you think, well, there's no point now because I've had too much to drink. I won't get into the movie. I'll do a bit more. And it goes on. But, I don't want to be like that guy do you remember Dave, the Irish guy? He used to sit there with his shirt open with his Thai Buddhas and he used to drink Changa, absolutely pissed. And he'd do 5-hour streams every week. And I don't want to end up like that because it's almost like, you're almost like the village idiot, aren't you? People start saying this guy's, you got to watch him because he gets drunk on screen and talks about nothing for 4 or 5 hours. I don't want to get like that. That's why last night, towards the end of the stream, when the real good questions come into the comments, I really enjoy getting into them because those sort of comments where they're serious questions, you can really get into them and it gets some dialogue going between us all and we can share information. I really like those sort of comments. Right, Darcy, pinup is by far the best go-go in Pattaya. Nothing else compares. You see, I don't know pinup, Darcy. I've never heard of it, so I'll go and have a look at it when I'm there. I've heard the windmill is quite something to be. I've not been in the windmill, but I've heard it's worth going in there. And I've heard from Damon about a place. I don't know if it's still open. It's like a telephone box. You go for this telephone box, and it's a real. It's almost like a Roman. I don't know how to explain it. I think you know what I mean. Right, another name there I don't recognize. David Halpin. Peter, a lot of the girls are calling the shots in the bars. Yeah, I understand that. They want more money to work for the bars. Prices are going up for the punters as short of working girls around since COVID. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It's all about supply and demand, isn't it? I mean, right now I'm demanding a bit of whiskey and I'm supplying myself with a whiskey. But you're right. Seriously, it's all about supply and demand. And, if you've got, let's do easy numbers. If you're in a Golga bar and there's 100 girls in that Golga bar, it's up to you, isn't it? But if there's 100 guys in there and there's only 10 girls on stage, they can name their price, can't they? And it's all about supply and demand. And this is what we're talking about earlier, the way Thailand's moving forward with all the modern ways. And yeah, they're not stupid. The Thais know, they jump on a bandwagon when it comes to earning an easy buck, as it were, or earning any kind of money. And, if they can sit in their room and do what I'm doing here, but they can make, thousands of dollars. There's guys who have never been to Thailand. And instead of coming onto a stream like this and watching me talking about whatever, they can go on a stream and watch a 22-year-old Thai girl unbuttoning and, I don't want to sound too pervy. I'm just trying to make a point. So, yeah, it's understandable. Carl Peplow. The girls eat a lot of papaya salad. They do. So they're on the bog every 10 minutes. That's why they're slim. Good vibes. Yeah, well, they're not all slim, are they, nowadays? Yeah, Hard Tulip. That's who I was thinking of. Fulton Mackay. I don't know if you used to watch Porridge. I've watched it on the rerun. I've watched the film at least 5 times. Excellent. They reintroduced Porridge in the UK. If you're not from the UK, Porridge was a sitcom, as you call it in the States, every week. It was a 30-minute show, and it was a comedy, actually, but it was a prison-based comedy. One of our best, and he's a national treasure, Ronnie Barker. He was the kind of star of the show, and it was just a weekly episode, and it was absolutely fantastic. But Fulton Mackay played the head kind of prison warden, and he was a kind of character, and they often bantered him and Fletcher, as it were, the character that he played, the prisoner. And one of my favorite episodes is where he got sent away. Fulton Mackay, he was sent on a course, and a replacement come into the prison, and he was a real tough nut, and everybody they didn't like him, and they're all kind of and when Mackay came back, he was walking the landings, and they all started singing out for "He's a Jolly Good Fellow," because they better the devil as they say. That was a nice episode. That was very nice. That okay, Carl. Okay, we've read that one out. Yeah, thanks, Hard Tulip. Absolutely, it was Fulton Mackay. And then they brought out a follow-on series called Going Straight. It was okay, but it wasn't as funny as Porridge. And I remember Mackay met Ronnie Barker when he'd been released on the train, and there was a thing with the bag. We're going back a long way now. You'd have to remember that. Right. Yeah, Charlie Stewart says the same thing. And Fulton Mackay. It shows how far behind I am on the comments, because I asked that question about 20 minutes ago, didn't I? Half an hour ago. Right, let's whiz through these. Gemini Star, have I mentioned you tonight? McLaren F1, nobody wants a 20 stone missus. Skinny is better. I must admit myself, I do like, if I was looking for a girl, I'm not really into skinny girls. I do like a girl with what you would call a full figure, if that makes sense. I'm not talking about some, you know, well, let's not get insulting, but I think you know what I mean. Right, soothing medication. I don't think people being overweight is down to exercising, of money or sugar. It's availability. There haven't been seasons in shops since early 90. Everything available every day, everywhere. Yeah, possibly. I know I'm putting on weight again. Mike, I've booked Phuket with TUI for next year. Should that say, but they are messing around. Yeah, be careful with TUI because they've been cancelling a lot of flights lately, haven't they? Where is the best place for a relaxing holiday and a little exploring for a first-time solo traveling? Phuket or Pattaya? Try Pattaya. You know, I mean, Pattaya's got a really awful, well, it's a well-deserved reputation as a monger's town, and it is. But what you could do your research on Jomtien Beach. Jomtien, it's 15 minutes from the main Dragon Pattaya. You can base yourself in Jomtien. It's very, very nice. Very nice, and you're close enough to jump in the BART bus and get over to Pattaya. But if you're not really into the, you know, the real heavy bar scenes, check out Jomtien. It's great. I was there in January actually. Right, Damien, about the telephone box. Peter, it's a telephone box on the dark side, Gentleman's Club. Great stuff. Yeah, you've told me about that. I haven't been there, obviously. Mike, okay, we'll just read that one out. Yeah. Somebody else saying about the telephone box there. The telephone box in Pattaya is right eye opener, but when you enter, you need a couple of minutes to let your eyes adjust. So what somebody was saying earlier about the difference between the bars back then and now, that was something that used to get me in a good example. That was the Tahitian Queen on the Beach Road. It was back in the day. It was one of the few go-go bars that was actually open in the daytime. And you'd be walking along the beach road and you think, oh, that place is open. Let's go in and have a look. And you'd go in and you could hear glasses clinking and you could hear girls' voices and you could hear the atmosphere of the place. But it took you 2 minutes before you could actually see anything. Because not only do you go from daylight to darkness, and it was very dark in there, but it was bright sunshine. You suddenly go from that to a dark go-go bar. Stephen again. I saw an interesting video about the escape club in Treetown. The girls will not have LD targets but must do 2 BF every 10 days contract instead. Also no phones allowed while working. I like that idea of no phones while working. There's nothing worse. I mean, we all do it. Even I do. I'm always on my phone. I go out for a walk with my dog and I hear a text come in and I try and force myself not to look at the text because I want to get some fresh air and get off the phone. But I really hate the fact that when you're in these bars, the girls are just, you know, when you go into a beer bar in the old days, you'd sit down and all the girls would look over and smile at you and they'd say, do you want to play Connect 4 and all this? It was very engaging. But you walk into a bar now and they're all on their bloody phones, aren't they? Very annoying. Okay, Gemini Star says, question, Peter, what star sign are you? I don't know if I should tell you that because if I tell you, you might come back and say, that's why you're such a psycho, or I don't know. I'm an Aries. Mark, good to see you in again, mate. You're in last night. Wow, bonus special stream tonight. I'm nearly done, Mark. I'm coming towards the end. A little while to go, but I've been so hungover today from last night, so I've sort of cure it with the hair of the dog. We'll see how it goes. Okay. James Casey, a Nomad Overseas. I subscribe to your page. You know what? Well, a Nomad Overseas has been coming into this stream for probably many months, and you know what, I didn't know Nomad Overseas. I didn't know that you had a YouTube channel. I really didn't. So I shall go and have a look, and if I find it, I shall subscribe. Okay, Paul, Porridge is one of the best UK sitcoms of all time. Ronnie Barker at his best. Ronnie Barker, a legend, absolute legend. And yeah, it was one of my favorite programs. I mean, I don't want to sound like an old man, but they really don't make them like that anymore. They reintroduced it into the UK, completely different actors. And I thought, Porridge. And I watched it and I thought, they're remaking it. And I thought, what an utter load of crap. And I tell you what else I thought was an utter load of crap. Now we're on the subject. being my age in the 70s, some of the best programs around, one of the programs I used to really enjoy, I must have been about 15, 1975, 76. Yeah, I was about 15, 16. If you lived in the UK and you're about my age, one of my favorite programs, well, there was a few of them. I used to like Cold It's on a Sunday night. Young boy, of course, you're going to like a program about escaping, right? Cold It's I used to like. But one of my favorite programs was a Sweeney with John Thorne. Sadly, we've just lost Dennis Waterman. Fantastic. You had the bronze Ford Granada burst through the screen at the beginning. And, you know, they recently brought out, I say recently, a few years ago now, they brought out a movie with Ray Winslow. He's a fantastic actor, Ray Winslow. But they called it the Sweeney, and it was utter crap. And I was so disappointed because when I see, you know, I was a great fan of the Sweeney when I was a boy back in the 70s. And when I seen advertised it made a remake, a movie, the Sweeney, with Ray Winston of all people, I thought this is going to be fantastic. And it was similar to The Irishman with Martin, how do you say his name? Martin Scorsese, is it? You know, he did Goodfellas, Casino, and he's such a good filmmaker. And when he brought out The Irishman, and also keeping in mind that you had the same actors, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, you know, famous, fantastic actors, a cream of the crop. And it was such a disappointment, a 3-hour show. And I did watch it and I did enjoy it. If it had just been an ordinary movie, I'd think, yeah, that's a good movie. I enjoyed it. But, you know, for the caliber of the people who were in it and the director, it was a big letdown. I watched it twice, actually, because it was a good movie, but it wasn't a good movie, I didn't think, for the people who were in there. Right, Damon, let me get that up there. Probably help everybody out, gets me off this subject because I'm rambling now. Peter, do you want any more fish fingers as going food shopping tomorrow? I don't mind picking up a few boxes for you. I didn't know fish had fingers, Damon. Have they got fingers? That's a Burning Man one. No, he's taking the mickey now, Damon, because I sent him a picture of my dinner the other day. I had 10 fish fingers. I really like fish fingers. Right, Mark, if you like full-figured girls, go to PR, not Asia. Where's PR? Is that the Philippines? PR. Do you know, I'm a dinosaur, Mark. I don't know where PR is. What's that short for? I could go onto Google and say, what does PR stand for? And I'd find out, but I don't know. I'm guessing it's the Philippines. But when I say I like it could be somewhere like Mexico or is it Panama? The thing is, when you say full-figured girls, a lot of the full-figured girls in Asia have had like half a dozen kids, and that's not a turn on at all. Right, Canary spreads his wing. Really dark at telephone box there, full on there, and will definitely ring your bell. Yeah, I've heard about it. Stephen, Stuart has had it even fully open yet. I saw the guy says he has signed up 150 girls. The idea is interesting. Anyway, okay, talking about these. I will definitely go and have. Has anybody been into the Buzzing Bar with Trevor? Trevor's Buzzing Bar. I did see when he was doing that out. It looked quite nice with a VIP area and everything, but I haven't seen it since it's been finished. I believe they're open now. Mike, cheers for your advice. We'll certainly look into it. I'm 35 and not a heavy drinker, but do love a good nightlife every now and then. Again. So, Mike, the advice I'd give you, if you go to Thailand for any length of time and you're not a big drinker, don't fall into it because you think you have to fit into it. You know, it's very easy in the day and think, oh, I'll pop into a bar. I'll just have one Heineken sociably. And then it can go downhill from there. Stay as a casual drinker. Even me at my age, I mean, look, I've got beer, I've got whiskey. I do not drink in the daytime. I've actually made a video on my channel about 2 years ago. It's do not become an alcoholic in Thailand. My golden rule is I don't drink in the daytime because I've always been worried about becoming an alcoholic, which, you know, obviously I'm not. Cheers. All right. Okay. Patio dog grooming. A lot of names coming in tonight I don't recognize. Pantip Plaza is a mole for electronics. Not anymore. Patio dog grooming. It used to be in the old days. I used to like a good afternoon out in Pantip Plaza, and I understand why you said. I recently went there, and it was a shadow of itself because Pantip Plaza. That's in the day when all the software you could get pirated software, even Windows and Office, and it'd all work, and they all had crack, what they call crack, and all right, keep the jokes to yourself. They all had like the crack to make the software working, or codes. And Pantip Plaza, you bought all the X-rated videos, picture discs with all the women on them, all your cables and that. And it was they do still sell it, but it's not the best place now in Bangkok for the electronics. I can't remember the name of the place. I've made a video with 2 moles on it, I'll try and dig it up for next week. But if I can remember that, this place is so much better than Pantit Plaza. They've got everything. I mean, I bought this. I bought this in the place I'm talking about, right? And I bought this specifically for when I'm out and about in Thailand, because look, I actually use this for the stories as well here. But look at that. I mean, how good is that? So what I do is I hook that into my jeans that on my side, and it's like I don't know I have it. And if I want to do a filming, I'll just pop that up like that. The Samsung camera goes in there, right? And then fully adjustable. The legs come out. That goes up there. And it's really long as well. Look. And I can carry that on my waist. So, yeah, I bought that there. Do you know how much that was? It was £2.50, 100 baht. So, yeah. Okay, I'll try and dig that name out next week so I can tell you where that is. Paul. Let's get your comic up there. Really like how you bring back vintage British TV and ads. I'm 36 and from the USA, so I appreciate their perspective. I'll try and get some more up for you next week, Paul. I like them as well. Some of them are a bit, well, they're all dated, but some of them are a little bit corny. I've got some here from last night I haven't deleted. I'm not going to do them again because I don't want to rehash last night's stream. It was a good stream last night. Excellent. Today's going okay. Half the number from last night, but that's fine. We're just having a drink and a casual get together. But I will try and get some more out for next week. We did all the monkey adverts. Last week we did the high karate. There is so many out there. You've got to be careful about copyright, though. If you do some of the newer ones, you know, your stream can get demonetized, as I say. So look. Okay, Mark. Actually, it has happened where your date is texting on her phone while you're doing your business on her. Too much information. I really heard that. No, I mean, if that happened to me, I would shut the phone down the toilet. Goldfisher. I've always wondered, does your Korean wife live with you in Britain? We don't call it Britain anymore. And if not, how does it work? Okay, briefly, because I don't think people want to hear this, but I'll explain it to you. My background is a hotel business. My wife comes from a town called, it used to be called Busan. It's called Busan now on the south coast. She was working in a hotel as a receptionist when I met her. She was 19. I met her, we dated, blah, blah, blah. In the end, she came to China with me and she followed me everywhere, and we got married in Singapore. And then she came to the UK with me in the year 2000. She's got an English passport. She works full time. The sparkle's gone out of the marriage a little bit. It's 33 years now. We have agreed to separate very nicely. No lawyers. We're still friends. We still love each other. We just don't want to be together full time anymore. Maybe one day in the future. I don't know. But how it works, she's living here. She's in upstairs now watching Korean movies. Tomorrow, she'll be around. I'll be around. She'll cook lunch. We'll sit at the table and we'll eat lunch together. And we'll be very friendly. But that's how it works. You know, there's no bitterness or anything. Right. And Nomad Overseas again. Thailand-bound, believe me, you're not missing much, Laugh Out Loud. It's only really placeholder vids at the moment. We'll expand channel at a later point. Well, I tell you what, Nomad Overseas, I'm not the biggest channel out there, as you know, but I do like to help people. Like I keep saying, when I came across Bangkok Pat's channel, he only had like 1,200 people subscribed. I watched his videos and I thought, this guy deserves more. And I promoted the shit out of him, and he's up to 18,000, not because of me. I helped him with a leg up. I did some videos with him, but he's up to 18,000 now. He's on his way. He's made it. He does tours in Thailand. I'm always promoting him. But, you know, I will, if somebody's got a channel, I'll always give them a mention because I know how difficult it is at the beginning. The hardest thing about a YouTube channel is getting your first 100 subscribers. Once I hit 120 subscribers, it took off, you know, but getting, you know, I can remember being on 56 subscribers and 4 days went by and then I got 1 subscriber and 2 unsubscribed, you know, it is hard. Right. Winstone. Did I say it wrong? What did I say? Yeah, I said Winstone, didn't I? Best film he was ever in was Scum. Do you remember Scum when he was younger? Where's your tool? What tool? You'll know what I'm talking about if you watch that film. Ray Winston, yeah, somebody else just mentioned that, and I've skipped through the comments again. Right, I think no one else says, I think Escape Bar and Buzzing Bar are same location, but the different bars operate at various times of the day. Okay. I never liked hanging out in go-go bars in the daytime, you know, because Thailand's got much more to offer. And yeah, I do like the bars. I like the girly scene. I like the go-go bars. I like hanging out in beer bars and playing Connect 4 with the girls. I love all that. But that's a nighttime activity, isn't it? I don't want to go to a go-go bar at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want to sit in a beer bar at 10 o'clock in the morning. There's just so much more to do. I'd rather be walking around a mall or going on a riverboat cruise or, I'm not really a sort of tourist person where I look at temples and things like that. But, you can go to, say, Pantit Plaza for the afternoon, or you can go to some ICOM shopping mall, the high soul shopping mall. It's worth going there just to look. Fantastic. But I'm not really a daytime go-go bar sort of person. Pattaya is very much like that. People go there to party and they'll sit in go-go bars all day and all night. For some people, Thailand is just Pattaya. That's it. They've never been anywhere else. They come off the aircraft, get in a taxi, and they go straight down to Pattaya, bang their brains out for a week or two, get back on the plane and go back and do it all again a year later. They don't know anything else. Right, let me say hello to Alex. Alex, hello all. I'm watching from PR, Puerto Rico. Okay, so that refers back to Mark's PR, was it then? Okay, I got you, I think. USA, I can attest many women here are thick. Yeah, okay, all right. So maybe Puerto Rico might be worth a visit. So you know where I'm sort of hanging now, don't you? Right, James again. What part of Dublin? I'm there often. Norman Everson. Oh, you're asking Norman Everson. What part of Dublin? I'm over there often since sister in East Wales. Okay, so you don't know this. I've never been to Ireland, but my mother's actually from a place called Athy in County Kildare. I don't know where it is, but I think it's somewhere near Dublin, is it? Right. Stephen says, I am drinking it now, Dutch. Okay, well, the drinking started. Mark, Peter, I'm just calling you Mark now. I don't want to do the whole thing, right? Peter, I would suggest you travel to a different country, maybe Brazil. Hot ladies there. Well, the thing is, Mark, when I was in the hotel industry, I've actually traveled to a lot of countries. I won't reel them off, all around Southeast Asia, the Middle East, even Norway. But one regret I've had that I've not traveled to is I've always wanted to go to, say, Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, them kind of countries, but I hear different things. Some people say it's not safe, or you've got to be careful when you're out at night and all this sort of thing. Mate, if there's somebody out there who wants to go along with me on a first time trip, yeah, give me a shout. We'll go together. Stephen says, can't resist the offer at Asda. 650 bottles for £6. Never mind that. What you want to get yourself is this. Get yourself down to Aldi, 4.8 strength, yeah, £2.99 for 4 cans, and really good taste, really good. I had to buy them by accident once because they didn't have the German beer. I'll never go back to the German beer. Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Asda, brilliant. Mike, we'll look forward to next vlog. Get back to work. I'm coach driver driving from Manchester to London and back. Yeah, okay, Mike. Thank you for coming into the stream. Appreciate you being here. Kevin, hey, Dale, more cushion for the pushing. I've always liked sort of. I don't know if I should admit this on the stream, but I've always liked kind of the sort of how to say it in a polite way. Not the kind of hourglass types, if that makes sense. See, I'm smiling and going red because I'm getting embarrassed. Let's change subject. Taxi Tar, I need to go searching for it. I think the vid's okay. You're talking to him, right? I hope I've actually hit on most people's comments now. I've still got a load more to do, but I hate it when people put comments and I miss them because it's. I like to read everybody's comments out. Okay, Stephen, thank you again, mate. You're very generous. Did you just say it's time for another Peter? Go on then. Twisting my arm. How long have we been going? I've got to be careful tonight, guys. It's 2 hours now. What always amazes me? Let me refresh his screen because it looks like nobody's come in or gone out for the last hour. That can't be right. No, it's true. Still 269 in or something like that. Right, but thank you, Stephen. I'm going to go back. Bernie, is a computer mobile complex in Bangkok called MBK? No. They do a lot of electronics. I've got a video, and I remember I did a video on 2 malls that I did on the same day. One was ICOM Siam on the river, which is a HISO one, and the other one I can't remember what it's called, but it's a really good, a really good mall. Black Bolt, yeah, Sexy Beast. What a fantastic film! Actually, I nearly watched that again last night. because I've watched it so many times. Another one I like is The Business. Have you watched that one? I forget the guy who's in it. Damien will tell me. What's the name of that guy, Damien, in The Business? One of your favorite actors. What is his name? He was in EastEnders. Forget his name. But yeah, Sexy Beast. That's a really good movie. He doesn't want to go back and do that bank job, does he? And then he ends up killing the guy who goes out there. And he ends up getting when he gets dropped off, the guy gives him £20 and asks for £10 back, which is a real insult. But yeah, brilliant movie. Brilliant. Okay. Right. Okay, talk to someone else. Richard Martin, Reed 70 shows. I was more into the professionals. I didn't like the professionals. Bordy, Doyle. I didn't like it at all. I think the reason I didn't like it is because I didn't like the actors in it. I didn't like. I can't remember their names, but the two guys who drive the Capri that goes smashing through the takes off at the beginning. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy who played the Scottish guy. Forget his name. My memory is really bad now. My mother got dementia at 72. I'm 62, quite worrying. But I know when I do these streams, I can't remember the names of people. But yeah, it wasn't not. There was a lot of funny movies back. Do you remember Randall and Hopkirk, about the guy who private detective? He died. He come back as a ghost. You had Jason King. He got caught with his pants down in a toilet cubicle in London. He was arrested, putting things through a hole in the cubicle. Yeah, there was a lot of. Just trying to think of a few more. Right, let's not get into the 70s TV programs too much tonight. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, I worked that out from the last one, Mark. So PR Puerto Rico, PH is Philippines. All right, yeah, okay. I can hear voices. Is that me on that one? No, it's not. Right, Pesky and McNuggets again. Did I read that one out? I was in Buzzing Bar in March and was very quiet. But was it very quiet because all the bars were quiet, or was Buzzing Bar quiet and the rest are busy? That would be interesting. Alex, I read yours, right? So I know where I am now. Let me go further on down. Del Boy, Kevin, Gravity, love that. Right, let me just try and catch up. Soothing medication. Okay, you're talking Nomad overseas. Sometimes it's actually hard to pull comments that are relevant because you guys, there's almost like a group conversation going on, which is nothing to do with me. So trying to find comments that are relate for everybody is difficult sometimes. Right, Paul says, I think Stephen and Trev seem to be going in the right direction with Buzzing Escape now. Think Trev might need to look at his bar crawl idea though. Ideally, it needs to keep the guys in the bar. Yeah, I went on a few of Trevor's bar crawls. He can drink. Trevor can drink. A lot of these guys you watch on YouTube, you think you know them, but when you meet them, they're quite different. I met a lot of YouTubers when I was in Pattaya. Nick T says, "Don't upset the Colombian ladies. One I was seeing here in London took the hump and shredded roof off my beloved CLK." See, again, CLK. What is CLK? I don't do the abbreviations. I don't know what any of them mean. Let me guess. She took the hump, so okay, she was upset, and shredded roof off my beloved. Okay, is it a car? CLK? Is it a Mercedes? I don't know. I don't do abbreviations. I'm a dinosaur. Right. Kevin, any more stories for tomorrow? No, mate. They come out every Saturday morning. There's a lot of work goes into stories. A lot. Takes me a 2 entire days, 6-7 hours of editing the stories, and then recording only takes about 45 minutes. But then I have to edit the recording because what you don't see when you listen to the stories, it flows for half an hour. It doesn't come out like that. I'll be picking my nose, coughing, farting, all the rest of it, and all that has to be edited out. So every Saturday morning, there's a number of stories. Okay. Eugene, hi Peter. Were you a goth or a new romantic back in the day? I wasn't either, but I would say I was closer to a new romantic because I was into Duran Duran, Adamant, all that kind of style of music. They what was it called? New Wave, was it? Blue Monday by New Order, all that sort of music. Wow, there's a lot of private conversations going on here tonight. The reason I'm taking so long to read out any comments is because none of them are sort of general comments for the stream. Shano Traveller. Good evening, young sir. Lads, just seen it. We are go. Yeah, what did you see? What did you see, Shane? It's a bit cryptic. Okay. Taxi Jalal. Thanks, Norbert. Yes, I wish him well. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Right. Black Bolt. Did I read that one out? Yeah. Okay. I know where I am now. Right, Brian Edwards. Peter, my first comment, been watching a long time tonight on my laptop rather than my smart TV. I started drinking PG Tips thanks to you. I like Harney and Sons too. Really? Really? Because of them adverts, you started drinking PG Tips. That's interesting. Right, David Salisbury. I like Pattaya for my first 3 or 4 days, then either Koh Samet or Koh Samui for a week, then back to Pattaya for 1 to 2 days, then another island for the rest of the holiday. Yeah, the problem with Pattaya, if you're there too long, it can do your head in, can't it? It gets a bit much sometimes. Right, Errol Palmer, just going to Pattaya. Only that's a shame. Thailand has so much more to offer. Yeah, absolutely. Chiang Mai, but to each to his own, I guess. I like to travel around a lot. I do like places like, I mean, obviously Bangkok. I do like to spend some time in Pattaya, not too long. But I do like going out to other areas because it's cheap to travel, isn't it? And it's so cheap to get a hotel anywhere. You can always rent a motorbike. Okay. Mark says private conversations because lots of cool people here. Yeah, that's true. But the problem is I'm only working off the chat tonight, Mark. And when there's no chat to read out, that's me done and dusted. Right. Carlito, what is the important fee when sending a package received in Thailand, or is there a certain fee amount before what the gift was worth? I'm not going to bullshit you, Carlito. I absolutely haven't got a clue. I don't know. Right, Paris in the Philippines. Nick, my Filipino went from size 10 to a current 14. Bought her a rugby shirt from the UK this week and ordered medium. She got the right hump until she tried it on when it arrived. Okay, so obviously it fitted. Right, Jay says, boring question, Peter. No, it's not. Any question is good now because I've got all these private conversations going on. What is your plan if you have a major medical emergency, such as a heart attack or serious road accident that requires major surgery? It's simple. I won't elaborate because I've spoken about it a lot of time. I'm going with a good insurance company, and if for whatever reason, you know, they do the dirty on me and they won't pay out, I'll make sure I've got a slush fund so that if I'm in a real bad way, I can just swipe a credit card and fight them later when I'm better. Because, you know, a lot of insurance companies have got a policy of denying a claim immediately and then you have to fight them. But this is one of the better ones and it's not cheap. So hopefully it'll be okay. Danish Bacon, need to set up a chat group here. Yeah, absolutely. Boo-hoo. Hi, you just come in there? Right. Rambruti Alley is my favorite street in Bangkok. I hope it hasn't changed when I get back. Well, they're all changing, aren't they? They're all changing. Okay. Right, guys, 2 hours and 7 minutes. You're having a lot of private conversations between yourselves. I haven't got a lot more to talk about. I think I'm going to call it a day. Peter, are there provinces in Thailand you haven't been to and want to visit? Yeah, of course. There's a lot of places I haven't visited in Thailand. There's a lot of places I have visited. Is there anywhere I want to visit in particular? Not really. I spent 2 years in Isan. I've done all the tourist areas, Bangkok, Phuket, Hua Hin, everywhere. I haven't been to Rayong, I don't think. I'd like to go there, have a look. Right, Nate Travels. Airplane tickets are way up, but I found if I book 2 or more months in advance, it's close to the same price it has been for years. I'll be in Pattaya starting in August. Woohoo. Yeah, I'll be there in August, Nate. Maybe our paths will cross. Right, guys, look, I tell you what, I'm going to call it a night now. It's been an okay stream, hasn't it? Thanks for joining me tonight. It was 4 hours last night. I've got to stop now. 2 hours and 8 minutes. Sincerely, guys, thank you for coming into the stream. It's been fun. I'll be back on Friday as usual. I don't want to outstay my welcome, as it were. I'm just getting everything set up for the ending here. So yeah, look, guys, Saturday night stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you Friday. Thanks for everybody who commented and everything. Don't forget, there's a link in the description if you need a visa. There's a link in the description if you want to buy my book. There's a link in the description if you want a hot Thai girl to knock on your door in about 10 minutes time. All right. So that's it, guys. I'll see you Friday night. Thanks for being here.